Sounds like a plan.
We'll go from there. Especially since it kind of wigs out at the start. Yeah, I don't know if Luke can sing either, so that should be interesting. I bet he's gonna try to sneak in during my monologue. Like he's watching the stream right now, just waiting for like the opportune moment to sneak in. All right, I don't know if he's actually. He's probably not.
I was gonna say, is he really?
No. It would have been cool though. It would have been cool if we were that cool, but we're not. Let me find. Throw the link in the other channel. I've just been throwing it there recently rather than throwing it in every channel.
Valid.
I think most of you guys are. In fact, everyone I think is in that channel anyway, so there's no point in throwing it in the other two. So.
Yeah, true.
That's fair.
Yep. Dang, look, Irish Wolf subscribed for 2 months. They're already. They're already here though, so thank you. Yeah, I was confused. The stream went live, and I was like, "What is popping up?" I'm so lost right now.
Right.
What happened? Oh no.
I already had your page up. I just had to watch live now, and I was like, done.
All right, look at you, overachiever.
I know, right?
And then we have someone who's an underachiever. I'm not gonna say names. But I will.
Is that me?
No, I was pinging Luke's token.
Oh, I see.
Oh no! What is a hype train?
So when you
Dang, we've done
get
things.
enough,
I'm afraid.
yeah, right. Once you get enough subs and/or bits, you get what's called a hype train, where people can earn emotes and whatnot for doing more subs and bits for the channel.
Nice. Let's ping Luke in chat and mention that he's gonna have to sing. That poor man.
Do they already have one?
There we go.
They do.
This here.
Right, so let's do this.
Uh-oh. Allura just... No, Allura, you were our commercial. You were the commercial girl.
I just did it random.
Well,
Now
you were gifted. You were gifted a sub.
How?
I mean, it's called someone gifted it.
Yeah, my rule about a hype train is I never let it just stay at level 1.
Well, I don't know anything about Twitch anyway.
Well,
so,
maybe you should
whatever.
learn. I mean, I watch a lot of Twitch, but
Maybe I won't.
I've only streamed a little bit. So dang, we reached level 1. We did it, boys.
Yes, so I've put enough in that that is that I got past level 1.
Well, look who's here.
I was learning my character so in depth that I literally lost track of time, and you beeped
This
me.
is why I.
Luke, we're gonna need you to sing us a few lines of a song.
Yes.
We're not asking you to sing the whole song. Just give us a few lines here.
This one is something only you and I. You might not even know this. Trogdor was a man. Trogdor was a dragon. Trogdor was a dragon man.
It's true.
That's a really
But
old.
he was still Trogdor.
It's true.
Yes,
It was burninating the countryside and all the peasants.
Strong bad emails were the jam back in the early 2000s.
I remember watching those. Yeah, That
I
one
remember watching those
and the
too.
anime one where he draws himself as an
Yeah.
anime character.
Oh, the anime one. Oh
Then you
man,
just
it's been
Yeah,
put
that
me
was
in
really good.
space and have me
long.
fly around doing cool poses.
Everything I know about anime is from that.
I mean,
So I've not seen any anime because I live in a bubble and I watch things like Reacher instead of good shows.
yeah, I don't really watch stuff, but it's okay.
I watch a lot of the show called The Traders, which is a game show kind of right now. Like my wife watches a lot of reality stuff, so that's what I watch. Although I have started watching a show called Castlevania on Netflix.
Well, Castlevania is good. Don't waste your time with Nocturne.
Oh, okay, that I was looking forward to it, but now I kind of
Oh, it is. No, it's like Castlevania, the original peak, like so good.
okay. Is
But,
it still
like,
Warren Ellis who writes it for Nocturne?
I don't know, but whoever, like, the pacing feels off. The art style is horrible.
Damn.
Like you have characters like just
That's
looking,
rough.
yeah, like looking like it's like, oh hey, these two characters are having a scene. Like they're not even drawn to look at each other, or even have someone wistfully drawn and like looking into the distance. It is just
I just play the games. I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not done by Warren Ellis. Which,
Oh well, that would be why.
yeah, so there you go.
But yeah, no, it is horrible. I know they put out a season 2 for it. I have not even given it, a thought. But yes,
That's rough.
the Castlevania, the original, just peak animation. Like I like me and people that I've watched it with, we constantly, whenever like you go up against a boss that like you just do no damage to, we always quote like, "You must be the Belmonts."
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, get ready for this boss.
Dakota,
Dakota's the boss.
how do you have that cool
What? I
colored
did nothing.
banner?
It's a mod. I sent you my model is full. You just never look at what I send you.
It changes so much.
Well, you got to stay with the
God,
times,
which one?
man. Are you not hip? Are you not cool? This is the boss right here. I
Oh,
didn't change the
my
coloration
God.
though.
Profile in Discord?
I mean, Uni would be the boss. Like
If
she
we were-
would be
If
be
we
the
were
random
children,
boss fight.
Oh, don't worry. The orphanage is coming. Might have to push it back till next week though. I need maximum impact.
I won't be here next week.
Oh, well, you're gonna miss the. Well, you're not afraid of orphans, I don't think.
Well, but he
no.
did miss the vampires.
Oh, there's so many vampires.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. There's
that's
only
fair,
one
that's fair.
orphanage. There's vampires like every scene. So
Nice.
Fair. You got me there. Oh, yeah. We'll see how well this session goes because I remember last time I was at this point.
I mean, you guys have some options here. You are level 4,
Yeah.
or you will be
Yeah.
after a thing. So I'm just gonna reread our little closing thing that I posted. That'll lead us into the next morning. So the warm glow of lanterns flicker against the wooden walls of the Blue Water Inn as the evening winds to a close. The scent of spiced wine lingers in the air, mingling with the faint aroma of roasted meat from the night's meal. Laughter and murmured conversations have faded, replaced by the quiet clinking of tankards being gathered by Danica as she clears the last few tables. Near the hearth, the fire has dimmed to glowing embers, casting long shadows across the room. A few of the remaining patrons kind of mutter their goodbyes before slipping out into the misty Valachian night. The eccentric bard that kind of was in the middle of telling a story when you guys came in kind of gives you guys a polite nod before ascending the stairs in the main room to where his room is. His colorful cloak swaying with each step. Erwin, the gentleman who brought you guys food, ever the gracious host, wipes down the counter and offers a small, knowing smile to the party. Kind of clears his throat and he says, "Oh, and your rooms are ready upstairs. No charge for the night. And tomorrow, well, I have a proposition for you. A job that might be worth your while." His tone is casual, but there's an underlying weight to his words, an unspoken urgency that lingers in the air. The party exchanges curious glances, curiosity piqued, but exhaustion from the long road. Well, I guess less long in this case. This was written for the other one when they walked there. But one by one, they make their way upstairs, boots creaking against the old wooden floorboards as the doors close behind them. The inn falls into a hushed stillness, save for the soft whisper of the wind against the shutters. Tomorrow will bring new business, but for now, the Blue Water Inn sleeps. And so you guys, the rooms you guys have actually require you to go out of the inn and up a second staircase outside. And I will put us on the map here.
I have a quick rules question.
Hmm.
So I cast this mystic armor every day as part of my daily preparations. Like once I'm ready, I cast it.
Yeah.
When does it actually fall off? Like when I go to sleep because I'm not concentrating anymore?
Essentially.
Yeah, more or less. Like, I think just for game mechanics, I
Okay.
think when you go to sleep, it wears off. Actually, I would go as far as to say when you wake back up. After your rest. Because, yeah, if you get ambushed in the night, I would think it would still be on until, you're preparing stuff again, at which point.
It does say duration is until your next daily preparations.
Yeah, so I
so
think
you would
when
keep
you...
it during the night.
Yeah, when you would wake
Alright.
up. Alright, so we'll move you
Just
guys...
ask because I have no armor, so if the the Lich Kings from Lord of the Rings come after us, I'm screwed.
Thank you for that. So yeah, you guys will end up going up this staircase here. You don't need to do it because I'm just going to move you guys up to this scene up here where you're already in the rooms that have been kind of divvied off between some of you guys. And yeah, there is no bright sunlight or anything to wake you up, though there is a bit of light that kind of shines through the hazy overcast in the sky, but eventually you all slowly begin to awake. And let's see who we have today. Oops. Oh, right. That's so... Why can't I just type random? Why does it have to go... Luthias, give me a fort save.
Remnants of Cuffin.
Nope, not Cuffin. Despite the nightmares about vampires and worse that keep threatening to invade your dreams, you somehow manage to shake it off and get a full night's rest, and you feel fine the next morning.
Nice.
Just wasted a natural 20.
Yeah, that was me in Luke's game the other time when we rolled a random nothing and I rolled a d20 and I rolled the 20. The only good roll I had the whole session. Yeah, it's the morning. What do you guys want to do? You're in your rooms, staring longingly at each other from across the way.
Are we?
No, I mean, it's your character. I don't know what you're doing. You tell me. You guys certainly could be doing that. I don't know.
Kurt Downey, you want to take a shower with me?
There you go. I don't know if we can show that on stream, but maybe we can narrate it tastefully.
Yeah. We might get some more viewers. Who knows?
There you go. Dang, we're a hot tub stream now. We're a Pathfinder hot tub stream. Oh no.
Nice.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, and then the Kool-Aid man bursts through the wall.
Oh yeah. That'd be perfect.
Alright, but yeah, the game's unpaused if you guys want to head down. Actually, if you guys are going to head downstairs, which I assume is the plan, I just wanted to show you guys kind of the layout here. You go out your little doors. You can actually see the bar from the railing in your room. But the way out does require you to go out the stairs up here and then go around to the door.
I'd like to do something real quick.
What is that?
So Donovan may or may not be awake yet, but when you do awake Donovan, you'll see Luthias has his overcoat taken off, his nice formal shirt he normally wears is hanging up on a little hook, and he just has his undershirt on, which is basically a tank top. and around his left bicep he has this piece of cloth that's tied, and he is busy pricking his vein on his wrist and drawing a little bit of blood with his medical kit, and he puts it onto some talisman, and he kind of hums some little song slash ritual as he does his daily preparations. You watch this like go on, and you're like, but that's his way of going about his daily preparations, getting in tune with his bloodline.
All right.
So do we go outside?
You don't need to. I was gonna move you guys downstairs when it was time anyway.
Oh.
But you guys are certainly welcome
Oh,
to go
yes, yes.
charging, out the door. The door back in
Well,
will
she
be
was
over here.
pushing me.
I was pushing her out the door and
Oh.
down the stairs,
Damn, you guys are so violent. Luthias just
Be
plowed through
patient.
all of you.
I jumped over the railing.
He just jumped over the railing.
All right, so
Wait, which way am I going?
I'm racing
It's down
Matthias there.
down here, I
Yep,
believe. It's
it
down here.
is, and I'll just move you guys back to our main map over here.
Oh, sure.
I'm okay.
You know, there's an
Almost
add-on
there.
deal.
We were racing.
There's an add-on that makes me a bear.
No, that we could have
What?
teleported over here to this.
Oh
map.
no, I don't even need an add-on for that. You can just do that with the game. You don't even need an add-on anymore. This map, all of my older maps that I put into the Foundry, like a long time ago, tend to not have teleport tiles. All of the ones that I've changed do. Like this map, I've not touched this map in like a year or more probably. So no teleports for you. Plus, we're not really going to use the upstairs much. It's just, so you can see the layout mostly. And because most people always run to this stairs to go to the room, and that's the innkeeper people's stairs. So yeah, when you guys enter the inn this morning, for the most part, it's empty. Erwin's in the back kind of doing some cooking, and Danica is currently serving the lone patron in the bar that you guys may recognize from the previous night. The Vistani gentleman who told a story about some birds and foxes and then promptly left.
Arturi, if I recall.
Yep.
Donovan will, kind of quietly watched Luthias as he did his ritual, but outside of just, letting him do his thing and then getting his armor on, and really commented, and just out of sight of just a polite nod. And seeing Arturi, he'll nod to him as well. It's like, good meeting, Sparrow.
He just kind of nods. He says, "Oh, wow, you guys got here quick. Took me all of yesterday and into the night to get this far."
He nods. He's like, it was an interesting journey on our end as well.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I can... Well, I can't, I don't know anything specific about yours, but I like to... Well, I don't even like it, but every night is an interesting night for me.
He kind of nods and was like, with a story like yours, I can imagine that to be so.
He'll nod his head. Says my plan was, have a bit of breakfast, maybe nap, and then probably be on my way again. I don't really like to linger anywhere for more than a few hours.
He nods and kind of looks around and is like, would a city like this not provide a little more protection from the foxes?
He says, "Oh, I wouldn't want to put everyone else at risk. Besides, the who and what shows up every night varies. A couple of zombies, skeletons, that's not a big deal. But when the gas or ghouls and other horrific things happen to be in the area are the ones that show up, it's a bit worse for everyone around me.
He kind of gives a nod. It's like, I can respect that. It's like he kind of looks down. It's like, given the tales we've heard of the town so far, I'd imagine that even the undead here would come running at you with plastered smiles on their faces.
Ugh, it's a frightening thought. I'd rather. Oh, that's for some reason that just makes it so much worse. Kind of gives out like a little shudder, like ugh. So, busy day for you all then? Make sure you remember the town's motto. All will be well. I guess. I don't... Well, don't...
So we have heard.
And how accurate is that?
I mean... You're in Barovia. If you believe in it hard enough, it doesn't make it true. But... You know, rather than get locked in the stockades in the stockyard, you know, it's best to just put a fake smile on your face and, you know, that's what got me in here. Past the guards at the gate, at least.
So just pretend all is well and you will be fine here?
For the most part, yeah, that seems to be the general consensus. And Danica kind of gives a nod in agreement to what he's saying. He says, obviously everyone can't be happy all the time, but, you know, just try not to show it in public. You never know who's watching. Guards, burgomasters, lackeys, or worse.
Donovan kind of raises an eyebrow. I was like, well, what's worse than government with an agenda?
Oh, you know,
Right.
the devil's spies, everyone's spies in truth. I mean, the burgomaster is obviously a large presence here in this town specifically, but outside of it, he holds no real influence. And there are definitely worse people in this town, I'm sure. Much like Barovia Village, Kresk, and... Oh, well, nah, the other one doesn't really matter as much anymore.
Donovan kind of raises an eyebrow. It's like, well, we will not press you for too much information, but
Oh, it was before my time, but there used to be a fourth village in Barovia, but they made the mistake of angering a certain someone who, if the stories are to be believed, actually managed to divert the entire river through the village, destroying it completely and leaving the entire area a sort of boggy swamp.
That seems like quite the feat.
Indeed. Probably an area best left alone, if you can.
Yes, we will try to avoid that if we are able.
Kind
I
of
believe
nods.
the innkeeper had a possible task for us to do.
Oh. And Danica says, oh, right. Give me one moment. She says, Erwin! They're awake! Get out here! And he kind of comes out looking much like his little art. You know, with some bread. Flashing his manly smile. He says, oh, wonderful. I was actually hoping to catch you all before you headed out. I mean, the task isn't anything too special, too crazy. My family actually runs the brewery where we make all the wine and everything else. And normally, we should have gotten a delivery. You know, maybe 4 or 5 days ago. Not quite a week, but getting close to it at this point. But thus far, we've heard nothing. And, well, I was hoping to send someone out there to check on things. I'm not much of a fighter myself, and I know that the forest and the roads outside of the village are dangerous, so it was actually rather fortunate that you came along.
That doesn't seem like too trivial of attacks. You just want us to go check on things?
Yeah, basically. And if you could pick up the shipment and, bring it back, they have a wagon for it. That would actually be amazing.
How many people were delivering it to you?
Oh, well, usually it's, usually my dad would be the one to bring it, or maybe my brother, my older brother, who's still there to run things, but, as I said, I've not heard from either of them. Not in, well, just, I want to say it's pretty close to a month now, and as I said, our supplies are starting to dwindle. It is a bit of a, oh, it's off to the west, and he will pull out a map fairly similar to the map you guys have. Give me 1 second here while it loads. Start doing a preload for you guys too. I don't know what it is. Like, the maps are loading super slow for me today on Foundry. On one browser at least. The other browser's loading just fine.
Yeah, I was having the same issue. It's getting to 98%.
Yeah, and then it whole. I'm gonna do a hard little reload there, and then we'll hopefully get our map back. Yeah, it's just the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes it gets kind of hung up. Alright. Let's see if we can load this. Alright, perfect. So, pull you guys over here. So, you guys are currently up here. And he wants you to go to the Wizard of Wine. Over there. And he will say it's probably a couple-day trek. Probably take the better part of 2, maybe 3 days to get out there, and then a further, 2-3 days to get back with the shipment. He will also mention, though, that there is, kind of chiming in off of what Arturi was talking about, all will be well, that the Burgomaster is having another one of his mandatory Jamboree celebrations in 3 days. And attendance is not mandatory, but he says it in a way that gives the impression that it basically is mandatory. If you have a valid reason for doing it, but obviously if anyone found out that he sent you guys to get wine during the festival, it would look bad on him, and he's really not trying to get in anyone's bad side. So he says, once the festival is concluded, there should be enough time, 2-3 days over to get it, 2 to 3 days back, at which point there will probably be another festival getting ready to start. And if you plan to spend any time here, it's usually in your best interest to make an appearance.
Why so festive for such a dour place?
Well, and Erwin kind of, once again, just kind of chimes in off what Arturo was saying. Or what Tristan had mentioned to you guys. The Burgomaster, Vargas, he believes that by keeping the people of Vallaki happy and in high spirits, that is providing succor for the villagers and whatnot, and keeping the devil at bay from the village. And they've actually been doing this for probably close to 2 years now. Like every week or so, they put on a new festival. The most recent one was the Wolf's Head Jamboree, which likely explains, all of the piked wolf heads that are hanging up just outside of the walls when you guys came into town the previous night.
Ah, interesting.
And the one coming up in 3 days is the Festival of the Blazing Sun. And we're going to have ads start in like 5 seconds. So if you need to get a water break or anything else, do that now. And then we'll meet after the ads conclude.
Isn't that early?
I didn't run the other one, so I did the first one after 30 minutes.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to use a moment to... It says they're starting soon. Actually, if someone wants to tell me when ads start, we'll pause the conversation there. But yeah, it might... With how Twitch is, it may just, Actually, can I do it from here? I'm going to try to force an ad with this button right here. Alright, it should be playing the ads, so yeah, if you need a...
Not for me.
Well, you're no longer,
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Yeah, you have
Okay.
a subscription. You don't get them no more.
How horrible.
I know. Just how tragic.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna do, and I keep forgetting.
For booze, huh?
No, I was gonna make a banner to put up on the stream for when we're in ads for people that don't get ads, so it like shows like in the middle that we're on an ad break, so that people aren't. Why aren't people talking? Because there's an ad break. I need to write that down. I'm gonna forget again. But yeah, long Shrek across Barovia for booze. Yeah, they basically have a monopoly on booze in Barovia because you can't find... They actually don't have anything available in any of the taverns or anywhere in Barovia other than wine. And all of the wine comes from that one place. No mead, no ale, no... Why is the rum always gone? It's unfortunate. But we should be coming out of ads in like 40 seconds. Also, Dakota, you said you had a sore throat and you were going to sound funny. You sound the same. At least I think so. I haven't noticed any difference. She's turning on the extra sultry voice about the showering with Kardama thing.
Oh yeah, totally. Do sexy dance.
Sorry, that's only available on Patreon. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes,
That's on the pay-per-view channel.
Yeah, that's on the paper.
$10 subscription.
Yeah,
The only Barovia fans.
Our only
.com.
chance. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. I think we should be back. So yeah, anything else you guys want to mention to them? Ask questions? Anything like that?
So the brothers, brother and the father, or just
I
one of
think
them?
They both stay at the brewery, as well as his mom is there as well, and the brother is married as well, and who is, being the older sibling, will be the one to eventually take over the brewery itself, whereas he kind of trekked
Okay.
off to Valaki to, um, open this inn here.
so. It's
Okay,
his
so for the
family, well, it's
delivery,
also home.
For the delivery,
sorry, like
Yeah, go ahead.
how many
sorry.
how many people would be coming? Just the one?
well, normally it's just like his brother or just his dad. Usually it's his brother that makes the trip by
Okay.
cart. So
Through the dark and creepy forest
Yeah.
by himself?
yeah, I mean they aren't. Once you've been in this land a bit, you have a general idea of safer places to rest, areas to avoid, and they've made the trip enough that we've never had any issues before, and they've been doing the trip to here. They also make a stop at the Surfall camp that you guys rested in the previous night, all the way to Barovia Village before going all the way back to the Wizards of the Wines again. And it takes a good a little over a week to make like the full trip all the way down to drop off all the wines and then back. And like I said, it's been a few years. There hasn't been any issues. His brother's pretty good at what he does, and they do have other people who work on the work in the vineyard that sometimes do escort the thing as well. So it's not like they're completely defenseless.
So we'll have to find clues along the way.
Yeah, if you find anything that looks suspicious, that's probably good. I mean, I hope nothing's happened, but maybe there's just problems at the vineyard itself. Hopefully something minor, or maybe they just lost track of time. I don't.
Flat tire.
That's true. The wagon could be damaged. Maybe the yield is.
Yeah.
There could be any number of reasons why they haven't made it here. I'm not saying for certain that they were waylaid on the way or in danger or anything else. It's a process.
Hopefully not.
Right. Sounds like all we need to do is just go check. Not too difficult of a task.
Yep.
Indeed.
Follow the path.
Yep. But like I said, I don't want to send you guys away immediately. And while there is a slight chance, I suppose you guys might be able to make the trip before the festival, I would actually encourage you to wait till after. There's plenty to see and do in Balaki, and I'm sure some of the other people around town could use a bit of help, especially your friend, the one with the red hair. She actually went to see the people that came over from Barovia Village. They kind of have a little makeshift refugee camp just outside the wall. Apparently the burgomaster refuses to let them in. Says that they're likely the devil's spies. Nonsense, if you ask me, given what that poor village has been through from what I hear.
We should probably go check on her then. We need to deliver her still to the church.
Indeed.
Yes, I would agree.
Alright, so yeah. Erwin and Danica will serve you guys, a bit of food. They do have a lovely beet stew for breakfast, as well as some wolf steaks, and then it's pretty much just wine or water as far as beverages go. Um, the cheaper wine. You're not gonna get like sloshed off it, but water works as well.
Donovan will take some stew, meat, and water, as well as some bread.
Yep, and the bread as well, which he looks like he has just made. So you guys will enjoy a nice, breakfast, and then you're kind of free to do as you will. Still fairly early in the morning, but it's not like, crack of dawn or anything.
Well, we should probably find and take care of Arena first, and then we did promise Madam Eva help with that job.
That is true. You guys do have some stuff to do.
I'd say those are probably should be the two priorities, but after that, I think it's fair game.
And explore a little bit after that. But probably finding Arena should be our first thing.
Yes.
Yep, and Erwin will be like, oh yeah, her and the other gentleman that you guys came with said they were going to the refugee camp, so I'm sure you'll find them there.
Okay, so they're at read.
Alright, so you guys are going to head to the refugee camp then.
Indeed.
Sure.
Alright, so yeah, you kind of go back the way you came, to the eastern side of Valaki, kind of, following your path back that you trekked the night before to get to the inn. And during the day, the town's guard, the main gate is open, but there is a guard kind of standing in the way to just, if you're going out, he kind of, looks at you, sees that you guys are armed, and kind of gives you guys a nod, and doesn't really put up any fuss to let you guys out through the gate. And the little refugee camp is kind of set up like almost right up against the side of the wall, a little to the north of where the road and other stuff is. Maybe a quarter of the way between the road and the lake there, if you want to check your map. And the village kind of, there is a bit of a gap to the lake itself, but it's kind of, just there. And there's basically, a couple dozen of these like ramshackle tents that have been kind of set up right up against the palisade wall. And then kind of just sitting amongst them and around them, around like small bonfires and the like. There are a number of kind of just ragged, dirty, emaciated people that are kind of just looking, glum, for a better word. A few of them do kind of glance up as you guys approach, though none of them really, like, there's no emotion or anything in their face. They kind of look up at you, maybe look at you for a few seconds, and then kind of just go back to what they were doing. And let me get some secret perception checks to see what we can see. Look at these rolls.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
I mean, who knows? So, sadly, everyone but Donovan.
Oh.
It's easy enough to pick out Irina, given the vibrance of her hair, and everything else, and Tristan too kind of looks a little out of place just amongst these poor people that are camped out there, and they're kind of just sitting around one of the larger bonfires, and Irina is talking to an older gentleman there who is kind of listening to what she's trying to say, but um, he doesn't really seem that interested in her words, at least from what you can see as you approach. Assuming you do approach.
Yes, we would.
Yeah. Donovan just kind of notices everyone else kind of walking off, so he just, assuming that he's not seeing her, he just kind of follows them.
All right, so yeah, you guys will walk up, and Tristan will just kind of give you guys a nod, looking just entirely bored with the entire exchange. And Irina will kind of look up and just, give you guys the give me one moment here symbol. And basically, she seems to be, at least kind of catching the tail end of the conversation, she seems to be um, trying to, trying and failing, I should say, to convince them to potentially return back to the village, especially if Vargas isn't going to let them in. Um, though she does tell the older looking gentleman that she will plead their case, um, plead the case on their behalf to him, um, just as soon as she gets back into the village. And he just kind of lets out like a little gruff kind of, and then stands up and just kind of wanders off, leaving the group reunited and kind of just standing around this fire in the middle of their camp. In silence together.
Donovan will kind of look to the man that just left and look to Arena and kind of shrug. Is like, it doesn't seem like he was very open-minded.
She'll shake her head. She says, "No, uh, they had a hard enough trip getting here. I don't blame them for not wanting to make the trip back. Even if that strange man did say the attacks were over, I don't... Well, it didn't really seem like they believed me, and while they can't get in the village to plead their own case to the burgomaster, I'm hoping that maybe I can persuade him to at least let them set up inside of the walls instead of outside."
Would definitely be preferable.
She'll nod her head. She says, "Well, I know we're supposed to go meet Father Lucian at the church, but if you wouldn't mind, I'd really like to swing by. Actually, I suppose we could go to the church first and then swing by the burgomaster's estate. I'm sure Father Lucian's already awake. I don't know much about Vargas outside of him being the burgomaster here, so maybe not going right in the morning is the best idea."
A valid argument.
Yes, I think getting
Can
to the
escort?
church first would be best.
Yes.
All right, well, back in we go then, I suppose. She'll kind of stand up and dust herself off, and then kind of start weaving her way back through the makeshift tent camp, kind of leading you guys back to the gate. And the guard recognizes all of you immediately and kind of lets all of you back in without any hassle. You guys want to go to the church? I hear it's lovely
I would say
this
it's
time of
probably
year.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's see if it'll load past that 98% that I see it stuck on at the top. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you.
Hey, you're using Firefox, right?
I am, but I have it open on Chrome on the stream
Yeah,
window.
my Chrome is halted at 98 too.
Yeah, like I'm running it on. I do one browser for each.
I'm on Opera and it's doing the same thing.
Yeah, we'll give
Yeah,
it a
same.
sec. It is. That's why I should have preloaded the scene sooner while we were doing the other stuff, because some of these are bigger maps. So it's all right. We'll give it a sec. It looks like it loaded finally. The preload is complete. I'm gonna move you guys over. You won't be able to see originally. I gotta put your tokens down. We also gotta turn off this weather because it is not currently raining. All right, let me drag you guys.
Old Saint Andrew.
It's the one.
I say that, but I have no idea who it is.
He was a man. You can definitely find out who he was.
Was he a dragon man?
He was not, but he could have been. And we
Ah, Graves.
get all
Yeah,
you
don't
guys
tempt him.
on here. Is it Tristan? Where's Irina at? There she is. All right, so yeah, you guys will make your way back through town, and the church itself in Balaki is basically, you guys come in through the eastern gate, but the church is kind of one of the last buildings on the road to the west gate. And yeah, you guys are at the church. I'll give you guys the quick description out of here real quick. Nope, that's not the right spot. Too much to keep track of. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to talk about while I look for this on your trek across. It'd be a good time if you have any questions for each other or anything else.
So I take it you guys have been here?
Who is he directing this to?
That's what I want to know as well.
Generally, my fellow party members, not so much Irina.
Uh,
Although that might be the case.
Donovan shakes his head. It's like, if you're asking if we're from this land, I don't think anyone but
Nope.
Arena here is a native.
I've never been here before.
Same.
All right. So yeah, you guys will make your way back across town, and it has at least compared to Barovia Village, a fairly lively little downtown area. There are a number of shops open, what looks to be a kind of restaurant kitchen thing. You catch sight of a smithing area, and some other stuff. One looks like maybe a herbalism shop of some kind. But eventually you come to the church. And this church, it's obviously seen better days, but it's still an impressive structure, at least compared to the church in Barovia Village that was, all but destroyed, basically. But you can hear people inside kind of, doing prayers and other stuff as you guys approach, and it's well lit and everything else. Yeah. We'll unpause this though. If you guys want to go straight to the graveyard over here, that's an option.
No.
I'll allow it.
We'll go up to the door and knock.
All right, you go up to the door and knock.
Hang on,
Knocking on the door actually just kind of swings open a little bit.
Donovan kind of pauses as it just kind of swings open.
Yep. Well lit inside. People seem to be in the middle of like some sort of prayer, and there are a number of people that you can see down the way. And Irina kind of just, goes right on in. Tristan, on the other end, kind of goes to stand under a tree and just stares at Luthius, smiling.
I just walk away and go into the church. Fucking vampire.
In or out, woman?
I'm going in.
I mean, there's 2 doors. You could open the other one. Or you guys could oil up and, like, push past each other. I'll allow it.
There you go.
I'm sure you will.
I'll allow it.
Oh, of course you will.
We'll have to make a second stream, where you have to be a subscriber only to see what happens, but...
Of course.
Yeah, there are, there's actually quite a few people in here engaged in prayer, and, Father guy up here who's kind of, delivering what seems to be, like, the closing, kind of the closing prayer for the morning sermon. Where is it? I've got it right here in this folder. I really need to reorganize my...
Twins and...
Yeah, no, that's just what I use for random Barovian male and random Barovian
I
female.
was kidding.
Like, it would be insane to try to give all of them, like, unique tokens. That would take some...
Each one of these people?
You could, if you wanted. And then they would eventually end up with a real token. I mean, you'd have to deal with them as you made friends.
Oh, no.
But yeah, the gentleman up here is like, "O blessed Ezra, our guardian in the mist, she who sacrificed herself to fill the hollow, healer of the sick, protector of the weak, guide to the lost. To you we pray, watch over us, your people, take us under your protection. Show us the light when we are lost in darkness. Defend us when the legions of the night draw close. Lead us to our place in the grand scheme, and bring us through the night to the shelter of peace. Amen." Everyone kind of chimes in with their own little amens, and then a lot of the people do begin to kind of go out. Though a lot of them do kind of give you guys, kind of glances as they go. But none of them kind of linger on you for too long. And eventually, as, it's kind of emptying out a little bit, the guy at the altar says, "You all, please, come closer. Come."
Pushes Donovan ahead.
Dang, Dakota's just feisty today. She's knocking everyone out of the way.
I know.
He says,
There's no oil.
"Welcome. Welcome to the Church of St. Andrel. Tell me, why have you come? Have you come seeking a blessing, or..."
We've come at the behest of the burgomaster of Barovia Village
Oh,
to bring
Ismark.
someone, Ismark, to bring his family to the safety of Valaki.
Oh, I see. Yes, He kind of looks around to anyone who might be in earshot. He says, "Yes, I can see how that could be, or would be wise. And you're Ismark's sister, yes?" And Irina will just kind of nod. She says, "Yes, my brother sent me here. He heard rumors that this place was hallowed ground, and I'm not sure, but he seems to believe I'll be safer here than in the village, especially given the recent undead incursion. And he looks kind of, a little surprised about that. And she'll probably basically just um, recount to him the story that you guys kind of experienced the tail end of, with the undead kind of clashing with the guards, and their surprise attack that morning when you guys set off that actually left a vast bulk of the town guards dead. Um, so that's something. His eyes probably gradually get wider and wider as the tale is recounted to him. He says, Yes, you're more than welcome here, but and again he kind of casts another glance around, and for the most part, the at this point you can kind of ignore the tokens because almost everyone's cleared out at this point except for this kid here, who's sitting over there. He says, "But I'm afraid, well, the protection the church has is, well, no longer available."
What are you talking about? Just say your prayer to Ezra and do your blessing and protection
No,
granted.
no, it's we we had a sacred relic here in the church. Um, almost no one knew of its existence besides me and a few other people who help out around the church. But recently, the thigh bone of Saint Andrel, which is what afforded this church its protection, has gone missing.
Andrel's femur has gone missing, so your god chooses not to protect you?
No, you're obviously new here. Unfortunately, the gods' powers don't work as they might in other places. While you can still draw upon some small amount of their power, um, just because a church is a church doesn't already necessarily make it hallowed ground. It needs a little something extra in these lands, a little extra kick, if you will. Pardon my pun. He is grinning.
Femur. I see.
Exactly. But I would be glad to let Irina stay here in the safety of the church. Um, and even gladder still if perhaps you all might be willing to look into the disappearance of said artifact. I really don't expect much to come of your search in truth, but
Do you know when it was last seen?
I really couldn't say. I haven't actually seen it in the better part of 2 weeks. It was around the time of not the Wolf's Head whatever party, but the festival before that. Um, I do have some thoughts on who might have been the last person to see it, but uh, how about you guys? I assume are only recently arrived.
You would be correct.
He says, well, I don't want to burden you on your first day in town, but if you are willing to look into this for me, if you wouldn't mind stopping by, say, tomorrow, um, it'll give me some time to hopefully reason out some potential suspects, and at least provide you guys with a basis on where you might start your investigation.
That sounds fair, and it will give us time to talk amongst ourselves.
Of course, I wouldn't want to force you all into anything you're not comfortable doing. I'm not sure. Um, I'm loath to tell the town guard because if the rumors were to spread, it would cause panic and all would definitely not be well.
Understandable. We will talk about it and see if we could be of any service, and we can come back tomorrow.
This is, of course. Of course. Well, if you need anything, don't hesitate to come back. The Church of Ezra is always open to all.
Thank you.
I'd like to walk over to the two young men and offer them, like, just a token of, welcome, appreciation. Not really welcome, just like friendship, and try to make an impression with diplomacy and kind of get them involved in a discussion and see who they are and maybe see what they know about the missing leg bone of St. Angel.
All right, yeah. So this guy's actually not here right now. It's just this guy
Okay.
here. But yeah, you can certainly go. So what
Hey,
do you
you
want?
fucking twerp.
All right, minus
No, I
five.
don't- I don't-
Minus
Wow.
5 on making a. He's hostile now.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's going to initiative.
Roll for initiative.
Right. Right.
But yeah, he's just kind of sitting there. He's been kind of watching you guys as you talked with Father Lucian, who will basically kind of chat with Irina about potentially staying here. And everyone else in the room, with the exception of you guys, Irina, this kid here, and this gentleman back here, who's kind of off doing his own prayer thing in this corner, have kind of cleared out at this point. In fact, we could probably let's just stealth mode some tokens here. I need my immersion.
About to get ambushed.
As an immersion scientist. Alright, so what do you want to say to him, Luthius? He kind of watches as you approach.
Hey there, lad. My name's Luthius. What's yours? Just reach out my hand to shake it, and then with my other hand offer him like a piece of copper.
Okay, damn. Look, high roller over here. Coppers? He will introduce himself as Yeska. Basically the kind of, the altar boy attendant around the church who helps Father Lucian. He says, so, can I help you with something? Does Father Lucian need anything? What? Not many people usually come over here to talk to me.
Well, I like to make friends wherever I go. I'm new in town and just got here, so figured I'd introduce myself. Say, have you happened to notice any large bones just out and about when you're walking around the church?
That's a wrong thing to say to a choir boy.
Of course your mind goes there.
Well, yeah.
No, yeah, any large, skeletal remains that got misplaced.
That's better.
He says, I mean, the graveyard is out back. Occasionally you do get grave robbers that come through, but not very often, though. We have had to rebury some of the bones that they've picked through. Are you looking for any particular bone? I'm not sure we've had any grave robbers recently, though.
Do you know where St. Angel is buried? You're in the church, perhaps? Or outside of the graveyard?
Roll me some diplomacy. Let's see how this is going. Private diplomacy. As Tristan stares at you
Yeah.
through the window, Luthais.
Fucking vampire.
No, I'm just kidding. He didn't actually do that, but
Oh, that's right, Matthias. Wait, Tristan didn't come in the church.
just because he didn't go in the church doesn't mean he's a vampire.
Oh, yes, it does.
And Yeska's like, oh no, St. Angel's not buried in the graveyard. They usually keep his bones under the altar.
This altar?
I mean, Dakota, you're kind of far out to be here in the conversation.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you can certainly move over there.
Here, I'll move myself.
You know, you could offer, moral support.
Happen to see anything, let's say in the last couple weeks? Anybody snooping around? Anything suspicious around the altar?
I mean, not really. I know Milavage was talking to someone, and I heard the word altar, but I don't know what they were talking about. I overheard it at the orphanage.
Interesting. Milvage, about your age?
No, he's older than I am. He's almost an adult at this point, I think. He's like this tall, and he holds up his hand, and it's about to your height, Luthais.
Oh.
He says, yeah, he helps out at the orphanage. I help out there sometimes, too. I'm not sure who he was talking to there, though.
Well, I really appreciate your honesty, and if you think of anything at all that might help us find this missing leg bone, by all means, let me know. Or any of my companions. And I kind of motion to all of them. Give them a nice, friendly smile.
He says, yeah, I could do that. You know what, I'll think back. Maybe there was, I don't know. Why, did something didn't happen to the bones, did it?
I kind of pull out some of my paperwork and this kit that I use to. I don't want to scare him. That's not my intention. But I want to explain to him in very layman's terms about medical autopsies, cadaver research, things like that. That's what I do. So I'm just kind of telling him like I'm just doing a bit of research for the church, and they've called me in as an expert specialist, and so I'm just kind of doing my due diligence, making sure that nobody has messed with St. Angel's body since the last time that the research was conducted years ago. So
All right.
kind of lying to him, kind of making an impression at the same time.
All right, give me some deception. Big money here.
Here's the blind.
Hey, you're rolling pretty good right now. He says, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't really know about any of that, but yeah, so long as the bones are safe, I feel pretty safe in here. So that's good to know.
I'm sure they're plenty safe, buried down there. But we'll if you see Milovage and or you happen to remember a little bit more about what he said, let us know. I'll make it worth your while, and then I'll just go back to the group, kind of inform them like what all I found out from Yeska.
All right, yeah. What do you do?
Unless Dakota has something she wants to ask, or maybe some intimidation with her cowboy hat / guns.
I mean, she could. Dakota, what do you think about it? Do you want to?
We're okay.
Do you want to shoot the kid?
No.
Apple on the head.
You want to shoot Luthais?
In the foot, yes. I'm
Damn.
kidding.
Damn, that's
I will.
rough.
I will faint at the sight of blood.
Oh god.
All right, so yeah, you guys have, met some people, did some inquiry. Father Lucian said he'll talk to you guys in the morning.
So what about this guy in the corner?
He's still
Oh,
just
yeah, the
down there, kind of, just praying. As far as you can tell.
Well, since he's not since he's a special token, we should probably go talk to him.
Are you implying that that makes him special?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you're probably right. Unless he's a
Yeah.
sleeper agent.
Can I use
Now,
a religion check, like to kind of see if I can suss out whether he's actually praying or if he's like scoping out the joint for more theft of skeletal remains?
I won't even make you roll for this. As far as you can, he's not really looking at anything in the room. He's kind of just like head down. Since you guys came in, kind of reciting, and he's doing it quietly, but it's very similar to the prayer that he said.
Oh, blessed Ezra.
Yeah.
She who sacrificed herself, all that jazz.
Yeah, but he hasn't even really acknowledged that you guys have came in or anything either. So, I mean, you could certainly go talk to him if you like.
Maybe another holy man should be the one to go talk to him, Donovan.
Donovan kind of looks to Lucius, kind of shrugs and nods, and will kind of start, moving his way over, and just kind of move and take a seat and let the guy finish his prayer.
Yep, and his prayer comes to a close. It doesn't take maybe another 20 seconds after you sit down before he kind of finishes off and now glances up. Looks and he says, "Oh my, where did everybody?" And sees you next to him. He says, "Oh, hello there. Can't say I've seen you here before. Are you new in town, perhaps? Refugee from the other village, maybe? Though you don't really seem like the refugee sort."
You have some astute eyesight. I am, he kind of pauses and looks at the rest of the group. We come from Barovia village, but not as refugees. We simply have come this way on other business.
Ah. Are you from these lands originally, or have the mists brought in more playthings?
He kind of chuckles, is like, well, if you're aware enough of that, then I see no reason to hide the fact that is the case.
Yes, it doesn't happen often, of course. In fact, I think you're the first that I've heard of in, gosh, 5 years, maybe? There was some crazed mage, wizard, whatever they call themselves. I don't pay much attention. Who came a while back, around 5 years ago, I think. I'm not sure what happened to him, but I've not heard of anything since. So I assume he met an untimely. Well, you get what I'm saying.
He nods. He's like we may be new to the land, but we have picked up on its intricacies fairly quickly.
Indeed, it's a dangerous place. Danger around every corner.
Very true.
So what brings you to our fair village then?
He nods. It's like he kind of chuckles. It's like for all that we've learned of this land, we are. He kind of looks to the group. It's like we are all a fairly helpful bunch. So we are helping bring someone to this village, but it seems that this church requires a little help as well.
Oh, I see. Oh, so you're... Wow, it's not often you find, well, not to, go against the town motto, but, all will be well doesn't necessarily equate to everyone will be helpful. So it's nice to know that there are still people out there trying to, make things right, do the right thing, that sort of thing.
He nods.
He says, I think you'll find no shortage of people in need here in this town, especially with... And now it's kind of his turn to glance around, um, kind of eyeing your group, and then he kind of slides a bit closer. He says, especially with, well, that madman running the town. I mean, where is he getting all the money for these lavish jamboree parties that he puts on every week? It must be coming from somewhere. You don't suppose... Well, I mean, you wouldn't know. I don't think you'd have any way to, but... Well, I've heard
No,
things about previous families that once held the position his family now holds, and things did not end well for misappropriating city funds.
Mm. He kind of raises an eyebrow. Is like, and who punished these misappropriations?
Well, a certain someone came down from his castle and publicly executed him in the middle of town, and then appointed a new burgomaster. If what I've read is true, I believe that is Vargas's great grandfather. There might be one more great in there. It's several steps removed at this point. When his
The certain
family...
someone from the castle is his grandfather?
No. The certain someone from the castle came down and
Oh.
appointed his maybe great
Gotcha.
again, grandfather as the new burgomaster, after publicly executing the previous burgomaster for messing with the tax money, as it were. For the most part, the devil seems content to let people do as they do, provided the taxes are paid and no one goes out of their way to challenge him.
He kind of gives a grim nod at that. It's like, aye, we've seen what happens when the latter happens.
Oh yes, those poor refugees outside the gate. Terrible business, that.
Yeah, he nods. He kind of looks over. He's like, and we had heard of the burgomaster, Valaki's burgomaster, and his habits, but is this something that he started, or was this been a family tradition?
Oh no, he's actually been burgomaster for a while now. When I was a boy, it was his father, and I don't remember exactly when his father passed away, but we've only really been having these festivals for the last, I don't know, 2 years. Now keep in mind, too, I don't want to necessarily badmouth the man, but for the most part, the man in the castle on the hill was content to leave us alone even before the festival, so why the need to do this every week and force people to put on a smiling face, whether they are truly happy or not? In fact, at this point, I think more people are kind of sick of the whole charade, but, he's got it in his mind that it's working, it's doing what it's supposed to do, but as I said, no one's seen that other man in years. In fact, the last time I believe he showed up in this village was to perform said execution on the old burgomaster.
So,
Uh,
decades and decades ago.
Indeed. So it just seems, as I said, I don't want to call into question his sanity or anything else, but it does sound like, you know, if the shoe fits.
he kind of chuckles and nods. Was
But of
there anything
course,
that
Yeah,
happened?
you
working out
didn't hear
between.
this from me. Of course, all is well or will be well. Smile.
All will be well, but is there anything that happened around the time that these festivals started?
Huh. Hmm. I could ask my mistress if she remembers anything, but offhand, I can't think of anything that happened around that time. It just sort of started. It was going to be, a one-time little festival. It wasn't uncommon to, maybe have a yearly festival of some kind in the village back when people actually enjoyed it, right? If you celebrate all the time, it begins to lose its appeal. But a celebration, once a year for a particularly good harvest or the like, it's to be expected. It's fun. It's normal. But this is not normal.
He nods. Is like, well, he kind of looks at Father Lucian. Is like, we will be back tomorrow. So if your mistress does think of anything, and you are, of course, here tomorrow, be sure to let us know because I've found in my experience that uh, radical changes like this don't often come. You kind of pause. How do you say? Without reason.
Yes, I mean, I assume there's something there, even if it's just and again, I'm not casting any judgment, but maybe he's just he's getting older and not everyone can maintain the same level of um coherence as perhaps they did in their youth.
I didn't catch your name, kind sir. I'm Luthias.
Oh, right, yes, introductions and all that. Sorry, you kind of caught me. I wasn't expecting to find people when I finished my prayer. I'm Ernst. This dapper gentleman right here.
I really want to find out his mistress's name, but I'm not going to ask.
He says, of course,
You gotta ask.
in fact, I would be more than willing to meet you all here tomorrow. As I said, my lady maintains a vast library about the history of the town and stuff like that. So she might be more privy to information that I myself don't have. I'm more of a, well, if she needs someone to, go out for supplies or things of that nature, then I'm usually her go-to man for that.
So you'd rather come to us rather than us go to.
I mean, you'd actually be more than welcome to visit my mistress if you wish. I'm sure she would gladly welcome you all into her home, and you guys could chat a bit if you like. I could speak with her when I return if that's something you're interested in. She comes from an old family in Valaki as well,
Don't say Madam Eva, don't say Madam Eva.
the Wachter family.
You were wrong.
Good.
I think we can come visit. Might be a good idea.
Of
Get some
course.
information of the area.
Yes, I will. As soon as I leave here, I have one more errand to run on my way back home. But I will let her know about the group of you and your recent arrival to the village, and the fact that you all seem to have, well, good heads on your shoulders compared to some that Because, all will be well. Smile. But all is definitely not well.
Indeed.
Do we want to visit the Burgermeister first or after we talk to the historian lady, mistress?
Oh, that's gonna be tomorrow. So, and Arena wanted to do that today.
Oh,
So
he said we could come.
He
come
said
back
he'd meet you
tomorrow.
guys
Figure it out.
tomorrow, and he's going to go
Yeah.
talk to her about a
Oh,
meeting.
tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
yeah. We got to come back to the church tomorrow, anyways, to meet with Father Lucian. So yeah, so that kind of plays into us being able to kind of line those two up.
Okay.
But yeah, he
Could
will.
ask him if he knows where to find a toy. That task we were supposed to do.
Yeah, and he'll say, "Oh, you should go to Blinsky's. It's just off the southern road in downtown. You should see it. It's a rather large, fairly extravagant shop. I'm sure you could find any sort of toy you might desire. Some of them are a bit grim, though. I would just as a warning,
Thank you.
of course. And I will let Lady Fiona know that you guys are interested in a meeting, and I will be here tomorrow morning. And yes, I'll let you know of the meeting time and place, and see if I can't get any information about what might have happened 2 years ago.
Hmm.
And we're going to
Thank you for
pause
your
for a
time.
sec to go to ads right there because it's going to happen anyway.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you need water, if you need anything else, good time for it. The auto ad did just start. So, yeah, get a drink, go to the restroom, get a snack. In fact, I think I might go
Yeah,
get some dried cranberries, so I'll be right back too.
And popcorn.
Chaz, I I feel like last week you had put some stuff in the Discord for like
Yes.
little quest information, like this doll or the toy that we're supposed to get for, I can't remember her name, but her niece.
Yeah, so I didn't make note of that. So I just remembered it. But yes, I moved pretty much all of anything that was notes and journal stuff into the journal and notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mostly because the big thing I was moving over was the Taroka reading.
And we
She
had that.
wanted a toy from that exact shop.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, sweet.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were told that the Sentry's commander is up at Mount Gakis, or no, at Argenvolst, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
Argon Vostolt. Yeah, but the Mount Gakis was the Amber Temple, which
Gotcha.
was we had one of the cards mentioned Amber.
So I'm thinking we stay here for a couple days, like introduce ourselves to this mistress who Fiona walked her tomorrow, along with Ernst, and then today maybe go down to, well, obviously see Vargas, but also look at the doll shop or the toy shop.
Yeah,
Yep, probably.
that sounds like the plan for the rest of this in-game day.
Yes.
What was the plan? I missed it.
Uh, so we were talking. Uh, Vargas, Blinsky's, um, and then kind of and that would be kind of just kind of hitting all of the birds that we have in the nest so
Yeah.
far.
We don't want to leave for a few days because we wanted to wait for that jamboree thing and then go, so we'll have time to get back for the next one since Vargas is kind of making it mandatory. That's my thoughts anyway.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
makes the most sense.
Mistress
mean,
Fiona Wachter.
yep, that
And
sounds
Ernst.
reasonable. Is everyone back?
Yes,
I assume so.
I think I was the only one that left.
Nah, I left
Right.
too and got some cranberries.
Well, I knew that.
All right. So, yeah, any other questions you guys want to ask this gentleman before you guys head to the Burgomaster estate? That should be fun.
Where are you from, Ernst? Are you from here?
Oh yes, my family has served the Wachter family for generations. Born and
All
raised.
right.
I don't usually do much digging into politics. I'm a simple man. I like to keep things simple.
Would you have any idea where the money for the parties is coming from? Any
Well,
possible
and don't
guess?
don't quote me on this, but as I said, it's um he is the burgomaster. That does, confer some nobility and some measure of wealth and the like with it. But running a festival every week for years, a couple years at this point, is bound to be expensive, and his lifestyle hasn't diminished in any way to indicate that it's coming out of his personal funds. Um, the taxes are usually brought up to the gatehouse leading up to the castle.
Is
And
he going to be murdered by the guy in the castle for taking city funds for these jamboree?
as I said, I don't want to make any assumptions, but the money has to come from somewhere. He's the only one privy to any information as for the tax deliveries and whatnot. It's his responsibility to see them delivered. Um, I'll assume that he is seeing them delivered until proven otherwise. So maybe he has other money or some other means in place with which to fund these expenditures.
Donovan nods. And he hasn't raised the taxes since he started all of this. At
Oh
least not
no,
in a consummate way that would indicate, taking more money to pay for all of this.
no, not at all. And admittedly, not all of the celebrations are super expensive. It's easy enough to put some decorations around the stockyard and have the various vendors set up their stalls. And I mean, the Wolf's Head Jamboree that just passed, I mean, that one, there's so many wolves in the forest just outside of town. And some even managed to get into town. That, finding, wolves to pike at the entrance and whatnot wasn't probably too expensive. It is what a lot of the hunters around the village hunt anyway. Um, if you spent any time at, say, the Blue Water Inn or at Granny's, I'm sure you've had some wolf steak already.
Yes, we did.
He nods. It's like, it seems to be the only type of meat currently available.
He says, "Oh yes, I mean occasionally, depending on the season, you get rabbit, deer, and other game, but wolves are fairly universally around year round. Bats as well, though I think most people don't. Um, for reasons, the bats are generally left alone.
They take care of the mosquitoes.
So that's certainly helpful, but that's not the reason why normally.
It's a good
Donovan,
cover, though.
yeah, Donovan kind of looks amused. I was like, one bloodsucker feeding on another.
Exactly.
He says, you know, not all bats drink blood. There are fruit
Now
bats.
there's fruit bats.
He nods. He's like,
But I,
oh,
I, 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 I understand. I
yes,
think it's more so that, well, the man on the hill makes no real effort to dissuade from what he is. And while I'm no expert in the subject, you know, a vampire turning into a bat is a commonly believed thing, so it's probably best to just leave the bats alone.
of course. And yes, I, I do know that yes, there are other types of bats, but it was exactly that sort of superstition that invited that joke.
Indeed. Of course, the ultimate irony about the entire thing is that vampires can also, if what I've heard is true, turn into wolves, though we see how that's working out here at least.
He
Um,
he nods. It's like I was like, that is a fair point, though. Uh, he kind of looks over. It's like, uh, w- uh, vampires aren't the only type of thing that can take the form of a wolf. And I forget who had the fear of werewolves, but he's kind of looking specifically to that character.
me.
He
Well,
says, "Oh, that is
honest,
true. There are well, again, I've never been there. I can't say, but there's been rumors of werewolves in the mountains north of Kresk for, geez, since I was a boy. I remember my mother saying if I didn't eat my vegetables, she'd take me out there and leave me in the hills for the werewolves to eat. It's all rather grim."
I'm having to suppress a joke. But Donovan just sort of nods. It's like, indeed. So, thank you for your information, and we won't keep you much longer.
Of course, my friends. What were your names, by the way? I gave you mine.
Oh, he nods. Like, kind of, my name is Donovan. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you. And you, miss. Who might you be?
Tips your hat. I'm Dakota.
That's quite the hat you have there, young lady.
I think you.
You definitely don't look like anyone else from around here. That's, in fact, neither of you do. Well, what about you two up
Well,
there?
we're not
Don't
from
be
here.
strangers.
I I am Lithias. I have a bit of specialty in this topic of conversation, but that's we'll leave the rest for tomorrow.
Of course.
um,
Dakota
I
Smart.
am, and I am Cardama. I'm the one that's got the fear of werewolves.
Oh, well, just as far as I know, they don't really leave the mountains and the kind of forest up north of Crest. So just stay away from there, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Well, and maybe avoid the castle too if you can. Oh, and the ruined village to the south. Oh, and the haunted ruins that those knights roam around. I forget what it's called. Oh, and don't go near Yester Hill. I hear there's. Maybe you should just stay in the village. It's probably safest.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid I will have to leave the village. I will just have to deal with my fear and hope that my companions help to keep me somewhat sane.
Well,
I got you.
Thanks,
yeah,
bestie.
if you have places to go,
You're
it's
welcome.
understandable. Just be careful out there.
She nods.
All right, any last questions or comments?
No, Donovan will just simply stand up and offer a polite nod and kind of a half bow.
Dang,
And
I could have put us in conversation mode.
could have.
Whoops.
What's that?
I forget.
I
which-
forgot I had it too.
Yeah, 'cause I
What
know
is
you had
that?
it. Essentially, it lets you like it shows
Like here,
chat. It puts up. Yeah.
I'll open one up. It just makes it
Okay.
easier to show
Who's
like
talking?
who's talking. Where's oh god, there's way too many NPCs in Balaki. Yeah, see, we'd have this little conversation here,
Oh.
and then
Interesting.
Cardama would be talking. And
Yeah, and then Donovan and he.
yep, I keep forgetting to actually use it though. We'll remember next time.
Next time, gadget. Next time.
Yep.
And he says, "Well then, I'll let Lady Fiona know, and I'll wait for you here tomorrow then. And remember, all will be well."
All will be well.
And yeah, he will head out. I'm just gonna tuck him in his usual corner and just hide him there. So where to?
We could go. Do we want to see if Irene is ready to go to the Burgomaster, or would we prefer to go ahead and get that toy?
Well, we could ask. And then we can go to wherever.
Alright, so yeah, if you
Mhm.
guys ask Irina, she says she will meet you guys back at the Blue Water Inn. And you guys can head over to the Burgomaster's this afternoon. She's making, like final arrangements for where she's going to stay at the church and other stuff in the meantime. So you guys got a little bit of time, a couple hours at least.
Okay, so I guess Belinsky's now and then Burgomaster afterward.
All right, so you guys are going to head, you guys are going to make your way downtown?
Walking fast.
Yeah.
I knew this was going there.
No, you didn't.
I did. I remember the song.
All right, so you guys are at the church, so you guys will be coming from this side. Actually, let me preload this scene. Because, actually, that one went really fast. It's weird, you know what's crazy? The church map is big, right? It is a big map, and it is in high def. You can zoom in really close. It looks beautiful. But this map is bigger, and it loaded instantly. So,
Of course.
Where's Luthias
Higher
at?
pixel rate or
No, they're both 4K maps. So
really?
yeah, it's weird.
Maybe it's just you.
Turn that down a little bit. So yeah, you guys are in the downtown. Walking back through, there are a number of places that you guys passed by on your way down originally, as well as some residences. The toy shop
More trends.
was down here. There was an herbalist shop here, and there was a sort of like open restaurant up here that had a number of people in it hanging out. Where do you go? Who do you see?
Do we wander or go?
I mean,
Taster.
you do have a couple hours. There's no huge rush.
Okay.
Do we need
Donovan-
anything?
I would like to get to stop at the herbalist to pick up something that I think the rest of us might want as well. And
How much money do we have anyway?
Whatever you had left after buying your starting equipment.
Yeah, we haven't. Like the only thing that we've gotten.
Yeah, you've
money-wise
gained
is
levels,
ten-
but and you got the rune, but yeah, money's still.
Ow, sparse.
Yep, for now.
So,
Need to
yeah,
start
the only-
checking pockets of
Yeah.
these people we kill.
I mean, no, we've been looting people. It's just we haven't faced many people. It's mostly just been
Ow,
monsters.
good point.
Yeah. So, and the only thing that we've really gotten, quote unquote, is the 10 gold from Madame Eva with the whole, use this money to buy the toy and anything left over is yours. So, so that's kind of been what the only uh, monetary stuff we've gotten. But yeah, like Donovan isn't in any hurry, so he just kind of, he's like just kind of walking down the street with the group, and uh,
Do we know which shop is
oh
the
hey,
herbalist?
yeah, we found the pumpkin witch.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, she's a what?
Pumpkin witch.
If you get the reference, you'll know. If you don't, the herbalist shop is called Denib's Garden.
Yeah, I'd like to check in and see if she has some garlic that we could buy.
All right, yeah. I mean, you can go in there. The door opens.
No, it says it's locked or it's not within my reach. I don't know which one.
That's really weird because it should be within your reach. But yeah, there you go.
I have a strength of only.
Oh, maybe you're too weak to open a door.
Yeah.
Do we open a door?
So yeah, you go in, and it's kind of like her house slash shop, and it looks like she is selling various other things in addition to herbs, which she has a bunch of kind of stringed up around. And she kind of glances up as you all come in. She says, "Oh, visitors! What can I get you? You buying, selling? That's a nice hat."
Um. So out of character, I I want garlic, but I also don't want to give away my phobia and my suspicions of certain people, Tristan, being vampires. But I want some garlic. So
I
I
mean,
want
I,
to
I think everyone knows you have a fear of vampires already, so I don't think
not to know.
that's true.
No, not my party. Like I want my party to have garlic, in case Tristan tries to pull some shit.
All right.
Look, if he was gonna bite somebody, it would have been done. Let's just say that.
Well, then, if we run into any other vampires, then we'll have it ready to
There
go.
you go.
So, what do you want to tell her? How do you want to disguise this?
What types of herbs do you have that could make one's breath very repulsive?
I mean,
Wow.
so when you say repulsive, do you want something that you ingest that will like last for a long time, or are you looking for something you can just maybe pop in your mouth and chew on a bit and spit back out? How long and how
Ideally,
potent are we
ideally, what
talking
it
here?
ideally what it, two functions. It could either be that's very thin, but also I could use it in cooking to add for flavoring.
Oh, well, I mean, the first one that comes to my mind would be like onions. I'm sure Granny Smith across the way actually has a bunch of those. Um,
Granny Smith.
oh yeah, she runs the restaurant across the way over there.
How's your apple pies?
Oh, they're great. Oh man, now I want pie. Thanks.
Well,
You're
so
welcome.
onions are great. They're a nice aromatic. How about anything like garlic?
Did you just ask for garlic?
Oh, I
There you go.
mean, I probably do have some garlic around here if that's something you're interested in. I think most of us keep it on hand. There's vampires living up on the hill, werewolves in the
I just
forest,
look at
and
her with wide
regular
eyes, and my
wolves
mouth
and
goes agape. Like, what?
what?
There's vampires living on a up on the hill?
Are you new here? Like, did the mist just drop you guys off this morning?
That's been a couple days, but yeah.
Well, there's a large castle
It's
on the
true.
hill. Maybe you've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
And there is a man whose name we don't say who lives in said castle who is rumored to be, though at this point I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really think it's a rumor, given that, there's reports of him ruling over these lands for hundreds of years. Same guy Same description, same person, same pale skin. So I think it's fairly safe to say it's not a rumor, but there is a vampire that lives in a castle on the hill.
Donovan.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
just think we could use some garlic in our cooking when we're on the road. Instead of having the bland wolf steaks,
That's true.
adding some aromatics.
Garlic
would be
butter
good,
wolf
especially-
steaks are pretty good. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, sure that
Plus,
does.
it'll keep vampires
So-
away, in theory.
Yeah. So, how about four bulbs of garlic, maybe?
I'm sure I can
Actually,
do
5?
that. Yeah, we
5.
can.
We
We
got a
can.
friend that could use it too.
All right, yeah, we can. We can definitely do that. I have no idea how much a garlic would even cost. Actually, I have to imagine there might be a slight premium on it, given the entire.
You would think so.
Yeah, given the setting and everything else.
I would think it'd be outlawed, but maybe my character's knowledge and/or myth that he's learned about vampires is going to be completely wrong. And garlic is
That
going to
is-
serve no purpose.
That is true. She's all right. 5 garlic. That'll be 5 gold.
I am at 4 gold, 9 silver, and 9 copper exactly.
So I've got 37 for some reason.
Actually, you should have more gold than that. Well, I guess you guys maybe
I
haven't
bought a lot
split.
of shit.
Yeah, he bought stuff. If someone wants to loan
How
him a copper,
Ow.
Yeah. Or I could
Actually-
go back to
even
Yes,
funnier, Tristan will come in, tap you on the shoulder, Luthias, and give you a copper.
There you go.
He entered this woman's home without being invited. Maybe not a vampire.
Good point. Unless he was invited before.
All right, I give all 5 of my now gold. That's all my money left for the 5 bulbs of garlic, and give each of my companions.
Wait, what was the copper for?
Oh, because he was 1 copper short of 5 gold.
Oh, I see.
I'll give Uni a bulb of garlic next time.
Hey, Uni is surprisingly missing this morning when you guys woke up and charged out. But she's crazy. She's
Probably
probably
out
fine.
adventuring on her own.
Yeah, she's, you know.
Out of character question.
Hmm.
Can I use a long rifle? Is there such a thing as a long rifle?
There are, but given that you're no longer in a place where it would be remotely accessible, probably not.
Well, that's a bummer.
I mean,
Okay.
it could be something to potentially craft or the like, but also your entire class or your subclass for gunslinger is kind of hinging on you using pistols since you went pistolero.
Oh, okay.
Like if you wanted
So
to
no
use a
point
long
being down
rifle,
under?
you would have probably went sniper. Which I mean, if you wanted to switch, I don't really have a problem with it.
I don't know. That was just for an added weapon.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something to look into. A lot of your stuff will still work with it fine, but some stuff is tied to pistols. So, getting a backup could be good.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, she will, give you a little handwritten receipt, 5 garlic for 5 gold. She says, now those will wilt, so if you want to keep that protection strong, you definitely want to come back in a couple weeks and re-up. Wouldn't want anything to happen to you guys out there.
I just look at my companions and kind of shake my head at the exorbitant premium that she's put on garlic.
So are you interested in any other, we have steaks, and I don't mean of the wolf variety. We also have holy water, blessed by Father Lucian himself. I have crosses. I have all sorts of things.
So
Do you
this-
believe in opening up a tab?
Tabby.
Uh,
Tabby, steaks.
Yeah, like if you see a vampire, you stake him through the heart, right?
Of it. I do have money. So you don't have to have a tab.
In addition to my fine herbalist wares, I'm also a seasoned monster hunter. Retired, of course. But you should have seen me in my heyday, boy. Me and my pumpkin golems ran amok across the forest.
Do you have anything to help against werewolves?
Oh, I mean,
Oh,
silver.
silver bullets.
What's a bullet?
Oh, god damn it.
Do you have any silver-tipped arrows or daggers?
I mean, you can definitely get silver weapons made, though. You might want to. Well, if I'm being honest with you, those are. Look, I charged you guys a lot for garlic. There's a bit of inflation. The economy's not what it used to be. But silver is going to set you back a lot. At this point, I think silver might actually be worth more than gold. Because, ain't no one ever said, stab the werewolf with a gold dagger.
True.
So. But who knows? I mean, if you guys get some money and the like together, you probably find something. I'm not sure what a bullet is, but daggers should be doable. Just make sure, silver's not the sturdiest of metals. I wouldn't just go stabbing anything with it. I would be a little selective. Um, but it might be doable.
He kind of nods and um, well, kind of looks around, and then out of character, I gotta ask: are there any glass pumpkins around?
There might be. They're not on the map. There are pumpkins just around. Pumpkins with happy faces, with sad faces. Pumpkins looking at you that you swear moved, but that it's not like the pumpkins are moving, right?
Yeah.
And she
I
did
mean,
mention
could be
pumpkin
worse.
golems running around.
Yeah.
You know.
Uh, when next time they're here, they'll have to get Uni's or Odyssey's thoughts on a monster I once showed to her, which is a keg golem.
Nice. Yeah, I do need to make some custom pumpkin creatures at some
Well,
point.
if we're
Alright.
done here, maybe we should find that toy store.
No.
Yeah, he kind of Donovan has kind of mostly just been listening and a little amused, but he will kind of nod at that and look to Deneb and be like, "Do you know roughly where Blinsky's is in this area?"
Oh yeah, it's right down the street. Just turn left at my door. Go to the main street. Go left again. It'll be on your left side.
He nods. It's like, "Thank you for that."
Yep. Have a good day. I think I'm gonna close up early and go get some pie.
It's only
Pumpkin
9
pie.
in the morning.
Sir,
Never too
there's
early.
But of
never
pie.
a wrong time for pie.
Exactly.
I think we all just said
3:14.
that.
It's not the wrong time.
I want
That's
to get
pie and beer
I want
afterwards.
pie.
with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Apple pie sounds
Exactly.
really good right now.
And as you guys are leaving, Tristan will actually go over and put a gold piece on the bar that or on her table that she takes and says, "All right, the usual then." And then he just leaves without another word.
He didn't receive anything?
Not as far as you could tell.
Donovan will kind of
Curiouser and curiouser.
yeah. Even Donovan will raise an eyebrow at that.
Yep, he doesn't say anything either. He just puts it on the bar. She says that, and he leaves.
Can we ask her that?
Client
going to fight quickly?
confidentiality, I'm afraid.
Oh, whatever.
Look, if a certain vampire were to show up asking where some adventurers got garlic from, I would be like, I didn't sell no garlic to anybody. I don't know who you're talking about. So see, this works out in your benefit too.
I guess.
And the bird on her shoulder will See, he agrees.
It's a bird, like Unis.
Oh, is her art not on there anymore? I was gonna show the art, but I think I may have. I don't think I ever relinked it to the token. I'll have to do that at some point. From when I restructured all of my map and token stuff.
Right.
Ooh, pie.
There's an old granny out here.
An old granny
Tristan
right here.
is approaching her.
Does she have pie?
I mean,
She has a cup of coffee or soup or something, I think.
yep, she does have a cup of something. And she says, "Oh, look at you all! Please come in. Are you hungry? Do you want pie, wolf steak?"
Pie.
Ooh.
You gonna add the beet stew?
Oh, you don't want that. Come in and sit
Beet
down. Let
stew.
me feed you something worth eating, not beet stew. Ugh. Oh, don't worry. Give me a moment. Not as quick as I used to be.
Now a bunch of triplets and twins here.
Ugh. Almost
Seems to be
there.
a growing problem.
Okay, here we go. Almost there. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll be back. Oh, all right, here we go. Oh, the pies are so far away. Ugh. Sam, what are you guys doing while you watch this poor old woman slowly hobbling her way into the
I
kitchen?
will go help her.
Oh, gosh, it's so far. Almost there. Come on, legs,
Can I
don't
help
fail
you,
me
please?
now. Oh, there they are. There's the pie. Ugh.
Can I help you carry that in?
Oh,
Or
yes,
get it for you?
of course. Here, come, yes. Yes, just, here, take this one here. There's a knife on the table. Oh, you're such a helpful woman. All right, you chop
You
up.
want them cut in sixths or?
Yeah, cut them into eighths, all of them, please, and just
Okay.
leave them there. And all right, and then she just kind of strides right back out of the room.
Wait a second. What the hell?
Such a lovely young girl helping me with the pie.
You planned this.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. I will cut all
Look,
the pies.
eighths.
Even the
Neat
ones
slices. Try not to cave in the crust.
equal.
I believe in you,
Make sure they're equal, right?
but don't
Okay.
fuck up. Granny Smith, don't take that shit.
Am I have to roll for each pie?
No.
I-
She's dexterous enough
Okay.
that she should be able to
Yeah, I hope
chop
so.
up the pies. So, you
Yes,
guys
I
are
will
new in
cut
town
them
then.
all
I
up.
can't say I've ever can't say. Why is Tristan looking down at the table? Did you mean Luthias?
Oh, I did mean Matthias. I was on Tristan at the time. Sorry.
No, it's all good. So what brings you all to town then? I can't say I've seen you before. Heard of Granny Smith's famous pies, eh? Highly recommended. All over the valley.
He kind of Donovan kind of looks over. It's like kind of looks into the kitchen with an amused glance. It's like uh, we're just here doing a few things, helping out here and there.
Oh, that's nice. It's not every day we get people through here that are doing good, like your friend back there chopping up all the pies. Very helpful of you back there, dear. Remember, straight slices. You're doing good.
Of course.
Keep it up.
She gets all the pies.
Oh, well, that's well, welcome to my humble establishment. As far as I know, I might be the only pie dealer in Barovia now that I think about it. Though I did hear there were some hags operating out of a windmill selling pies made out of children. Can you believe it? Nonsense. Gotta wait for them to be teenagers. You can't turn children into pie. There's no muscle there. There's no mass to it. Gotta let them grow a little more first.
Donovan's just kind of looking at her, just like, I can't tell if you're being serious or
Oh, it
not.
was a
Like,
joke, dear. We don't. It's an apple pie. You can smell the apples. See the apples. There are
No, he didn't say anything.
absolutely
He just
no
looked at her.
children being cooked in here.
Donovan nods. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, the meat's too tender. It's got to be. You want a little bit of you gotta let it get a more flavorful. Put a little more weight on it. Makes the perfect pie. Apples, I mean. So,
Checks for blood. Well, she's
I
cutting
mean,
pies.
it's an apple pie.
Are we sure?
I mean, give me a, I don't know, nature check. I assume you you've you know.
You want it hidden or?
You can give me nature or medicine. Yeah, it'll be private. Because if you get a nat 1, it's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, they're both untrained.
Big money.
Yeah.
We need to see this roll happen before I say the next bit. I'm excited.
How do I hide it?
Honestly, just roll it. It's fine.
It's not that.
So yeah, you hear her say that, and she's pretty. She's either incredibly good at kind of deadpan sarcasm, or she's secretly cooking children. So you're kind of expecting these pie slices as you chop through them, but aside from kind of the like the fruit and the sugary filling, you don't see anything that looks remotely like even meat at all, much less like human
Bloody and
flesh. No blood, no
stuff
nothing,
like that.
no. No blood that you can even see anywhere in here. As far as it looks like, it's just a lot of produce that's kind of sitting around, apples and other stuff used to make pies.
Okay, I'll continue cutting pies.
Yep, and Tristan will just kind of add in. He says, "You know she's messing with you, right? She does this to everyone that comes in every single time." She said,
relaxes at that.
"She says, oh, I'm gonna come over there." She kind of like like the she's not like knocking on him like a door, but just kind of feebly giving away a woman's secrets.
Hat on McFly type thing.
Yeah, kinda. She says, "But it's good to see you again as well, Tristan. I know you always stop in for pie when you're here. And you even brought your friends this time. I didn't know you had any friends." Burn.
Kind of sad you burning yourself.
Well, that was her saying that to him.
I know, but
She's a
still
fight. She's. I know. Well, she's a feisty lady.
Okay, that's fine.
And he'll probably just roll his eyes at that and wait for pie. What are the rest of you doing? Cardama, what are you doing? You look like you were going to run away. You changed your mind. What's...
Cardama was thinking of trying to run away until Tristan spoke up and is now relaxed and is just sitting listening to the conversation, wondering if she should have gone to help Dakota.
I thought she was your bestie. Damn, that's rough.
Yeah. Oh no, don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
Left her to do it alone. What is Luthius doing during all this? Is he messing with it? Is he trying to push the garlic across the table at Tristan? Or using his mirror? What? I know he's up to something weird, I'm sure.
He would never push the garlic across the table, something so bland. He simply takes a sip of his tea or whatever she's offering us to drink, and he makes eye contact with Tristan. And with one hand, he's holding his mug. The other, he pulls the garlic out and simply, in his left fist, puts the garlic closer to Tristan, watching to see what happens.
So you're like reaching across the table with your left hand.
Yeah, it's like
Ugh.
a foot away from his eyes right now. His face is my hand with the garlic.
All right, he's just watching you like you're insane.
Matthias is now wondering if Matthias himself, is crazy, or more likely, things that he has learned about how to deal with vampires might be wrong.
I mean, it could be a bit
He's
of
not
both.
that kind of vampire.
Could be a bit of both. And Granny Smith probably just watches all this happen and then just looks at you, looks at him, looks at you, and then will lean over to Donovan. She says, what? I'm. Hold on, let me. Oh, okay, here we go. So what's going on there? What's? Come on now, I'm sure you've got some gossip. Spill.
Donovan kind of looks over, and then back at Mary Smith and was like, then he kind of looks into the kitchen, and with Dakota checking out the pies, he's like, it's nothing more than someone taunting the fears of, or playing with the other people and having them kind of checking them out in turn, as I'm sure you're familiar with.
I see. Well, I don't really know how to respond to that, so I'm just gonna. You're doing a good job back there. Keep it up. Come on, service though. We can get these pies out here. There's hungry people.
He kind
I will bring one pie out. Wait, am I supposed to dish out here or in there?
Oh, the plates are back there. You should be able to dish it out in there and just bring out the pie. If you want to put a kettle of tea on as well, that would be great. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Sure.
Maybe 2 pots of tea.
2 pots of tea. Got it.
Yep, there's a lot of you guys. It feels nice to relax my old bones.
Donovan nods. He was like, I'm sorry one of our other companions went missing, though. He'd probably find you, he'd probably find you quite the hoot, and you might find her interesting in turn.
Oh, lost one of your companions already, have you? That's not.
And he kind of,
Well, I'm sure they'll turn
like,
up.
he nods. It's like, it's not the first time that she's disappeared without a trace, but she always seems to turn up. And he kind of looks over at Matthias, so it's like, and she's not the only one, but we seem to be able to find each other after a fashion.
Well, that's good. Yeah, bring her by next time you're around.
He nods.
More pie for everyone. I'm actually planning something special to maybe cook some special pie, if you catch my meaning.
Wolf pie?
What?
Garlic pie.
Oh, God, no.
Beet pie?
Wolf, garlic, beet? That sounds horrible. No, I was going to make a cherry pie. Cherries are kind of hard to get around here, but...
You know Erwin at the Blue Water Inn?
Yeah.
He could maybe use some of your assistance with menu options. He just very bad over there. I mean, good guy, just very bad menu options.
I mean... You know, they haven't been in business long. Kind of a learning as you go thing. Are they still just serving, what is it, wolf steak, bread, and wine?
Beet stew.
Oh. I mean, you gotta get some... Yeah, no, I'm not even... Yeah, you could probably use some. Maybe I'll Maybe I'll see if he's interested in, and you know, like some sort of a, I don't know. Well, I mean, I could use wine here too. Maybe trade wine for pies. Might boost both of our sales. Then again, do you really want to drink wine with a pie, though?
Yes.
Well, there's one vote in favor. What about the rest of you?
Donovan shrugs. It was like, good food is a luxury and something that I would likely try at least once before dismissing it out of hand.
All right, yeah, well, you know, maybe I'm sure he could afford to buy a few pies. They're not horribly expensive. I mean, two
I'm doing
silver for
this
a
hard
pie
on
is
my
not
phone
bad.
to get up and go see if Dakota needs help.
Yep, there you go. Go help her.
Is
She
all the
looks,
while.
look,
Yep.
I don't want to badmouth her, but she looks a little lost in the kitchen. You'd probably help her out there.
Hey, what do you mean?
I didn't say anything. Keep up the good
Mhm.
work.
Yeah, kid, take the tray of pie out. I'll bring the tea out.
I got that. I can do that.
Oh, you guys are so helpful. Oh,
Women's work.
get the poor old woman off her feet. It's been a long day, and it's only, I don't know what time it is, but it's early.
Cordova sets down plates for everyone, of pie for everyone.
Yep, and most of the other people in here
That's
are
for
already
very
kind of
tea.
eating pie. You know, get your tea, and it's a pretty good apple pie. You know, it hits all the flavor notes you expect. It's got kind of a mixture of. If you've ever had a mixed apple pie where you have some Granny Smith apples with maybe
Yeah.
some Golden Delicious mixed in there, with like
Very
the
Mhm.
cinnamon and the sugar, it's got a nice mix of
Little
sweet and
nutmeg.
yeah and tanginess to it. It's good though. Like it's in the proper proportions, not like overwhelmingly sour or anything else. So it is a good
Crunchy
pie.
apple crisp sounds really good.
It kind of does.
Yeah. Mm.
So, how long are you guys planning to hang around? I know Tristan there usually just pops in one day and then's gone for months again, and then randomly shows up again months later. Where are you all from anyway? Tristan keeps talking about this Mordant place, but I ain't never seen it. No one I know's ever heard of it. She kind of leans into you, Donovan, says, I'm not sure it's a real place.
What was
Don-
that?
she said she's not sure it's a real place. Uh,
Oh,
and Donovan looks it's like, even if I gave you the name, it's from outside the mist, so I don't know that you would even know it.
Oh. Yeah, I suppose if it's not Barovia Village or Kresk, I wouldn't really know.
He nods. I sort of figured. It seems to be he kind of pauses how best to word it. It's like it just seems to be the case here that the place outside the mist is fairly unknown.
Yeah, I tried to leave the Miss once. Oh, gosh, 50 years ago, maybe? Walked right into it, determined to go anywhere but here. Walked right into it, rocked right back out of it about 10 feet away. That was
Donovan
fun.
chuckles.
I did that a few times. If you ever get bored, take a rope, tie it around your waist, and tie it to one of the trees, and just walk in a straight line into the mist. It'll usually come out somewhere else close by, and the rope will still be taut, and you can still see it there in the distance. It kind of messes with your head a little bit.
Sounds entertaining. We're planning to stay in town for the next celebration, and then we've been asked to run a few errands for people about town.
Oh, the golden, the sun, not Golden Sun Festival, something like that.
Yeah, whatever they're calling it.
Uh,
Blazing sun.
yeah, it's one of those words, fire, and they've been building this giant like Wickerman thing, and they're planning to just light it on fire. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to accomplish exactly, but all will be well, I guess. I don't know. Too old for this bullshit.
Such language.
Yeah. When you get to be my age, you can say what you want.
This is true.
Do what you want as well. So how's the pie? Everyone enjoying themselves?
It's delicious. Probably the best pie I've ever had.
And Donovan nods with a mouthful of pie.
Says, well, that's good then. I'm always glad to see my work is appreciated. We'll have to see about getting, some pies delivered to the inn. If it's as bad as you claim, that's pretty bad. Wolf steak pie, that just sounds horrible. Beet stew sounds even worse. I don't really like beets. Or wolves.
Who does?
I do not like wolves.
Yeah, I'm not sure I
I
met
do not
anyone.
like beets.
Yeah, I agree on both those accounts. Don't like beets and I don't like wolves. What they have to do with each other, I don't know.
Around here, it seems they're both things to use for dishes, for food.
Yeah, you just came at a bad time. Normally we have other game available, but right now it's pretty much just going to be wolves, given that winter is slowly, and I do mean slowly, coming to an end. As for beets, well, a lot of the farms don't operate anymore, so we grow what we can. Children pies.
Yummy.
He kind of looks over at the rest. I was like, do you think that Uni would find that preferable or more scary?
I think she would approve, but not partake in them.
I mean, as we've already established, you shouldn't eat children pies anyway.
This is true.
True.
All right. Well, whenever you guys need pie or a good conversation or just looking to do some work, Granny's Pie Shop can always use help. You guys did good. Pies are on the house.
Well, thank you. I think we still need to go get that toy, though, for our friend's niece.
Oh, yeah. Go see Blinsky. She's got all sorts of crazy stuff down there. There was a little coffin and some weird skeleton thing. You'll see.
Kurama tilts her head at that. All right, those sound like interesting toys.
She says, yep. All right, don't be strangers now. Go
So like, we'll be back, I'm
go
sure.
put some more pies in here. And she just kind of struts off like a woman half her age.
Go figure.
Got stuff
Okay,
to do
Twister.
here.
Over
Where
here.
is the toy store?
Down here.
Donovan, like, already knows his way around.
Well, I mean, we did get directions from Deneb.
It's true.
Oh, okay.
All these twins everywhere.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
they
yeah.
are different people. But if you want to think of them as twins, please do. So yeah, you guys will go into Blinsky's Toys. Kind of a cramped little shop with a dark entrance portico. It's very nice. with a large wooden sign that's shaped like a rocking horse with a bee engraved on both sides. Um, and as you go in, everything in this shop is very much kind of, just par for the course of where you are. Um, and all of them have these little tags on them that say the same thing, which is no fun, is no blinkski on it. And there's like, a little headless doll that has like a little small sack of different heads you can attach to it. Like one of them's fairly normal. One of them has its eyes and mouth sewn shut. There's also a little miniature gallows that looks strangely similar to the one you passed by on your way to town, complete with a little swinging hanged man on it. Um, who was it that saw themselves on the gallows? I don't remember. Was it Kardama?
I would say if it was Cardama or
Um,
Dakota. It was one of the two.
It wasn't me. It was Cardoma.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it was me.
Cardoma. Sorry.
Yeah, Kardama, you definitely feel drawn to that toy, all things considered. Like wooden, a set of wooden nesting dolls, which if you're familiar with, it's where each one, like you open it and there's another smaller one in it, and you keep
Yeah, the
opening it.
Russian
Yeah.
thing.
A wood and string mobile of hanging bats with flapping wings. It's pretty nice. A wind up merry-go-round with figurines of snarling wolves chasing children.
Yeah.
That one's nice. A ventriloquist dummy that looks an awful lot like a certain vampire on a hill.
Yeah.
And give me some blind perception checks. Because she sees you guys come in and she kind of quickly tucks a toy under the table or desk or kind of counter that she's at, actually. Dang, look at these high rollers in here. Well,
I mean, we can't.
everyone but Kardama, actually. You see her tucking away a figure of a small, pale woman in armor with bright red hair that looks strangely like a certain someone you guys left at a church. She kind of looks up. She says, "Welcome, friends, to Blinsky's Toys. What can I get you?"
Did we ever get the age of Madame Eva's niece?
You did not. But the fact that she's sending you to a toy store,
Yeah.
Tristan might know. In fact, he does know.
He kind of looks over. It's like we're here to find a toy for the niece of a friend of ours.
Oh, well, we have plenty of wonderful toys here. Do you have any idea what she likes? Portable battering ram, perhaps? A stuffed rat?
It's for a girl.
Oh,
Pet rat. Is that what she said?
a stuffed rat.
Stuffed rat.
A doll,
A
maybe.
real stuffed rat?
Perhaps a doll. It's like we don't know too much about the niece. He kind of shoots a look at Tristan. He seems to have met everyone here at least once. Um, but um, but we can say that they are Vistani. So if you're aware of the kinds of toys that they would prefer.
Oh, maybe a nice doll then. And she kind of turns around and goes and starts kind of rummaging through this pile of other dolls and dresses that she has there, kind of giving you guys a chance to look more around the shop. She does currently have this monkey that's also standing on the desk and is kind of just watching you guys as you go around. And there's also this gentleman down here who's kind of just like looking through things. Who does kind of glance up and nod at you guys, but otherwise seems engaged. And yeah, the monkey's just kind of on the desk, or counter rather, just watching you. Doesn't seem afraid. It doesn't move if you approach. It just kind of watches you.
Like, holds my fingers at it.
You want to what? Say again, Dakota?
Look on my fingers at the monkey.
Oh, you're gonna wiggle your fingers at it, and he will wiggle his fingers back
Like,
at you.
wave it.
Yeah, I got you.
Go ahead, Gurnama.
I'm just in the background, probably looking over everything. Looking at the
I mean,
toys.
I do feel like the gallows and the little merry-go-round with the wolves chasing children are basically, you are feeling those, Cardama.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's
Donovan
probably,
is.
I'm avoiding the merry-go-round with the wolves, but I am checking out the other toy.
And yeah, go ahead if anyone else has anything, because yeah, she's just throwing dolls around over there.
Yeah. Donovan is probably one looking at the ventriloquist dummy just out of amusement, and seeing if it has a price tag.
It
And
does.
also, yeah, and also checking if there's anything that, given the short time they've been together, if anything that would have caught Uni's eye.
All right, give me 1 second. I'll tell you the price here. On the right page here. Might be too far. Don't worry, we're gonna find it. I mean, everything in here I feel like would kind of call to Uni. The little ventriloquist doll is 9 silver pieces.
Donovan will actually grab it.
Again, she says, no, not this one, not that one. No, not that one either. Say, have any of you ever heard of Fritz von Werg?
No, I'm gonna assume no.
Well, he was a legendary toy maker, some say. And some say his greatest invention, the greatest toy ever made, a little clockwork man, supposedly is somewhere up in that castle up on the hill. And, well, you all seem like that.
I'm writing it down, yeah.
The type that, you know, might find your way up to that castle at some point. And if you did, well, if you wanted to bring me that toy, I would certainly make it worth your while. And finally, oh yeah, go ahead.
And it was by what was the name of the guy?
Fritz von Werg. Here, I'll type it out for you guys. Oops, that's a G at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, she will eventually pull out a toy that looks incredibly out of place compared to most of the other toys thus far. This one actually just kind of looks like a small Vistani woman in doll form. You know, it has the same bright, vibrant clothes, like the same, it's obviously not real jewelry on the doll, but kind of, you know, like mock jewelry, like bangles and other things. She says, yes, this one. This one would be perfect for Arabella, I think.
I don't think we mentioned the name.
Oh, no, you don't need to. She told me the name.
Donovan kind of pauses, kind of looks to the shopkeeper, back to Tristan, back to the shopkeeper, and he just kind of just shrugs. And he's like, like this place is just weird enough that he's just not even questioning it at this point. But I assume she's gonna say that the doll told her the kid's name.
So, yep, she says Arabella, Vistani camp outside of town, 11th birthday. Oh my, it won't be long before she doesn't even want toys anymore. That's unfortunate, but this is a good one, I think. I think she'll enjoy it. She will put it on the counter.
Forgot who had the money to pay her.
I believe Donovan did. He kind of moves up with his own purchase. And it's like, how much for the doll? The
For the
for the one that she pulled out for the Vistani doll.
2 gold.
Okay. So he nods and he'll kind of dig out the 2 gold, and then he'll pull 9 gold, not 9 gold, 9 silver from his own funds to pay for the the man on the hill marionette.
Yep.
Sorry, not ventriloquist dummy. Sorry, not
Yep.
marionette.
So, all right, well, it's been a pleasure dealing with you. And you know what they say? Is no fun, it's no Blinsky. And she kind of does like a little pose thing where she throws her arms out in front of her. And then just smiles, like as if she's waiting for you to leave.
Yeah, and he'll move to go unless someone else wants to make a purchase.
Cardama, the gallows.
Cardama's still staring at the the toy of the gallows, but shakes her head as she watches Matthias leave and goes to follow.
All right, so yeah, as you guys are leaving, there is a large man, and this guy's probably, you would guess, somewhere over 6.5 feet tall. Like fully armored out. The one arm is outside of the armor, though. At first, you think it's part of his outfit because he has this one kind of large, scaly red arm that's not armor covered. So you're like, that's probably part of his, his armor style. But you realize, no, that's his actual arm, and he's currently being flanked by about a dozen other guards, and they are going around and they are pinning up posters. And they seem to have 2 different posters. And a couple of the guards kind of glance in your direction, but don't say or do anything. They just kind of continue making their way basically up the street, kind of leaving you guys to exit the shop. What would you like to do?
So they're posting them, so we could step up and take a look at them?
Yeah. So the first one is an advertisement for the Blazing Sun Festival. And I do it. Let me upload this really quick into a journal. I'll show you guys. Do image, create new journal entry. Probably should have done this before, but I wasn't sure this is where we'd end up. But here we are. Browse. Let it upload. Well, while it is doing that, there are 2 posters, as I said, they're hanging up. The first one, you catch sight of someone that looks familiar to you. Seems to be Irina on the first poster. It just says wanted for questioning. The second poster, though, is this?
Attendant
and
and children.
And children.
yeah, I saw that.
Specifically, and children.
Mandatory.
Mandatory, yeah. Not a good choice.
Donovan looks at the festival poster, but kind of looks at the other one and kind of grimaces. He's like, "Oh, that can't be a good sign."
What do the rest of you guys think about this?
Why do you think it specifically says children? Couldn't you just say attendance by all? Why specify?
It's the real question.
Does it mean like the orphanage has to go? I don't know. Uni would know.
he, yeah, he kind of just looks it over, and Donovan will just kind of sighs, like, "Well, we should probably get back to the church sooner rather than later to make sure nothing untoward has happened to Arena." Hello?
Yep.
Goodbye.
He just kind of walks and gives you guys a nod.
Before out of character, before we do that, we talked about going to see Vargas today. Is that right?
Yes, who is presumably the one who is not presumably is, if I recall what you said correctly, is the one who's wanting Irina for questioning.
Oh, so you okay? So you're prioritizing. Let's go tell her to lie low, kind of thing.
Yes.
Gotcha.
All right, so back to the church.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, yeah. Doesn't take you guys too long to get over there after your shopping and pie and everything else. It's probably getting close to noon. Yeah, we'll move you guys over to our little church over here. Or at least I told it to activate. It didn't move you guys at first, though, but there we go. And yeah, you guys are going to be kind of where you were, but it's fine. So yeah, Irina and
All is well.
yeah, Father Lucian are probably just hanging out, still chatting. They might actually be probably down here-ish.
So we're coming back, so we'd be coming back in through those front doors.
Yeah, you guys would probably be back down here. And Tristan's just going to be reading from the Holy Scripture there.
Okay.
Trying to fake us out again.
I mean, if you're expecting him to just burst into flames, I think you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm sure there are some people that are hoping for it.
But yeah, they're kind of chatting as you guys come back in, and Father Lucian actually sees you guys first and kind of points it out, and Irina will come over. She says, "Great, you guys are back. Are you ready to go see the Burgomaster?"
Donovan kind of frowns, is like, "Well, something tells me that he wants to see you, and not for reasons we had hoped for."
What do you mean?
Kind of. He kind of pauses for a moment, and then just kind of like, "Fuck it." It's like, there's a wanted poster with your name and visage on it.
What? But why? We just got here.
He shakes his head. It's just all it said is that you are wanted for questioning, and he kind of frowns and is like, "But yes, I very much assume that someone noted your arrival, and he's taken the opportunity to perhaps act on something he's wanted to do for a while."
Well, what should we. What. I mean, should I go back to the village? What.
He shakes his head as like, there are guards at the gate, and I very much assume that they that if they're aware that you're here, they're probably watching for you to leave. But I can also imagine that they likely know that you came to this church, so we would need, yeah, we would need to come up with another plan.
Well, that's unfortunate. Um, hmm. Uh, maybe. I mean, the people at the end seemed nice. Maybe we can. I don't know.
Donovan kind of folds his arm and frowns as he looks thoughtful and kind of looks to the others to see if they have any ideas.
I do not.
Do you
You
think if she left here, they would spot her and take her, or do you think we'll be okay walking about town with her?
Oh, I mean, he kind of frowns. It's like when someone goes to the trouble of not only goes to the trouble of printing and putting out wanted posters, it's a fairly sure bet that anyone under their employ is, and even the opportunistic, are going to cash in on that. So if we do go out with her, it uh, would need to uh, be ready for pretty much to go fight, and potentially even going to the burgomaster ourselves may result in that, depending on how persuasive we are. Because I'm sure that our presence with her has been noted. So, but it's like he kind of frowns. Like, I don't necessarily fancy her chances by herself on the road, and so there's only a few options. One, find the burgomaster and convince him to stop whatever this is. Two, we use the cover of night to get her out of the village, but perhaps into the refugee camp, though that's just outside the village, so it's not necessarily the safest place, but it is probably safer than a village that's, filled with guards under the burgomaster's employ. Or three, we just blatantly walk out with her and pick a fight with anyone that comes our way. Though the options as I see them, though I'm definitely open to other points of view and options on this.
What do the rest of you
No,
guys think?
I kind of agree with the one of sneaking her out at night, get her to the refugee camp. I'm sure they would hide her till we can get her away.
I can't think of a flaw in that plan, so I am definitely in alignment with you. So that's why I
Yeah, I
can't
think
think of
so,
anything
too.
better.
So as you guys are discussing potential plans, a raven that had been chirping at you all from outside comes flying in and kind of lands on your shoulder, Dakota, grabbing a bit of your hair in its beak and kind of tugging at you
Ow.
before kind of
The
squawking
tugging me.
at you and then kind of tugging again in that
It's a brave
direction.
raven.
And where's it tugging me toward?
It seems to be tugging you back outside.
Okay, I'll look at the others and walk that way.
Donovan will kind of shrug and follow.
Alright, so yeah, it kind of tugs out the way, and it gives your hair a bit sharper tug to look this way, and you realize that the same guards and that large man are currently walking down the street in this direction. The raven then releases your hair and flies off.
Okay, I'll head that way and motion to the others to follow, hopefully.
I mean, you would see it too, Luthius. The guard and all of the other guards are currently coming down the road this way.
Wait, are they coming toward us?
Yeah, no, you don't have to go
Walk
towards
away.
them. No, they're coming towards the church.
Ow. So are we in trouble? Maybe we should go back into the church.
I was gonna say maybe we go back into the church, but if there's
Yeah, sanctuary. And close the doors.
And Father Lucen says, what was that about? What happened?
Oh, nothing. Just a murderous mob.
What do you mean a
Donovan
murderous
snorts.
mob?
Well, guardsmen.
Oh no. Come quickly.
To the tomb of St. Angel.
Of course.
Yeah, no, the tomb of Saint Angel is a box under the altar. It's about 2 feet
We
wide.
have some oil from earlier when we came in here
You
a
would
few hours ago.
you would definitely not fit in the altar.
Even with the oil, all greased up.
Yeah, no, and that's for
Just
the
tell us the
that's
grease
for
up
the
each other
only
up.
that's for the only fans later. We can't show that on Twitch. That's for the hot tub stream, the oil stream.
Oh, yeah.
And
Maybe later.
he will move to the door here and unlock it. And he says, "Quick, hide in the graveyard. I'll deal with."
Oh, lovely. Even better.
As you guys dash into the graveyard, you hear a rather loud, kind of crushing sound as someone slammed the other door open, and you kind of can see Father Lucian close the door, and you can kind of probably see him through some of the windows as he heads back down. Oh yeah, Irina's with you too. Hold on, she should have came. She's just gonna fly through a wall right here. She's gonna fly through a closed door. She don't give a fuck.
Vampire or ghost.
And maybe 10, 15 minutes goes by, and you can hear, well, you can't hear who they're talking to, but you hear one voice kind of loud, booming out, like half yelling, sounding a bit accusatory, though picking up exact words is difficult. You might just catch some, like, here, she's, stuff like that, potentially accusing that Irina was here. But after, a while, it eventually stops. And from the graveyard, you can't necessarily see when they leave, but you hear kind of a much louder sound of like some of the wood actually splintering and smashing, which you assume is the large door to this church being pounded open or again to let out some people. And then a short time later, Donna or Lucian, too many fathers in this game, will appear back at the door and motion you all back over. In fact, he might not even motion you over the church. He actually might just go to you guys. Yeah, I'll probably come over. I mean, you guys can come over like here-ish. He says, well, word apparently does travel fast. They looked around the church. Luckily, none of them seemed too eager to go into the graveyard, but it would be in your best interest to hide her quickly. I'm sorry I couldn't be
So,
of more help.
just Father, no disrespect, but one person in St. Angel's tomb would probably fit.
He kind of, it's basically, he holds out his arms in what would be like a standard sized drawer you might have in, like where you store maybe your underwear, or your socks. It's not a big drawer. Maybe a foot and a half long by like maybe a foot wide.
Well, so much for that plan.
I mean, a contortionist might be able to fit. He says, for now, get her back to the inn. Perhaps Erwin might know of somewhere. Perhaps even at his family's vineyard or something. Would definitely just anywhere not in this town, I think, is for the best.
That actually sounds smart. Maybe we could take her with us
What
to the
about
vineyard.
what about at the refugee camp right outside the gates? Father, do you think? What's your opinion on that?
I have not had much chance to interact with the refugees yet. I went out there when they first arrived to try to offer some small measure of solace, but they're not taking their situation well, and given her proximity to the burgomaster and everything that happened, I really don't think you'd find, at least not universal, what's the word I'm looking for? Not universal agreement on not turning her in there. Given all they've been through, promises of being potentially let into the city, I could see any number of them
Right.
giving her up and your involvement up without a second thought.
I think maybe if we can keep her at the inn, maybe in a room hidden until we leave for the vineyard, if that is a possibility, maybe that's what we should do then.
Probably not a bad idea. We believe we had to head that way anyways.
All right, so back to the Blue Water Inn.
Before
Yeah.
they leave, Cardama takes off her hooded cloak and hands it to Irina so that they can somewhat hide her appearance.
All right. And it's time for everyone's favorite suspicious person to do something suspicious. And Tristan will actually walk over and mutter off some kind of spell, and kind of directs it at Irina, who kind of takes on a much darker, almost shadowy like appearance, though her silhouette kind of remains. Though if you weren't looking at her when it happened, you might not realize she was there.
Interesting.
Donovan kind of blinks.
Cardama looks at Tristan. Is this some sort of magic? Shadow magic?
And he'll just nod. Correct.
That could come in handy for my work.
And I'll move you guys, and you'll escort her back to the inn. I assume you guys are going to be careful to avoid any guards, but if you want to just charge at any guard you see, I will allow it. Just let me know.
No,
Sure will.
Cardama has void notice on and active.
Okay. So we'll move you guys back over, and there are a number of... Let me toggle on all of the people who are there at this hour. I'll move you guys over. And yeah, you get back to the inn in... It's actually not too long of a walk, to be honest. 10-minute walk. Irina kind of just following behind the group, looking mostly like, you know, kind of blending in with people's shadows as she goes. What do you do? Stand outside?
Cardama's gonna go in first to make sure that there are no guards here.
Alright, Cardama's gonna go in first.
I'll follow.
Even as the rain begins to come down. Let's give it
What's
some.
your buddy?
Upon not noticing any, she's gonna call back and let them know that there are no guards inside.
And the storm moving in probably helped. A bit of rain, a bit of wind. You know, Erwin and Danica kind of welcome you guys back. Though there is one other person you might recognize.
Donovan will kind of give a polite nod to Ernst.
He says, so my sources weren't wrong. You're here after all. Wonderful. Was your business productive, I hope?
Interesting.
What's interesting? Oh, the business.
Our business was interesting.
Oh, of course, of course. He says, well, I ran my errand as well. I went back and met with Mistress Fiona, and she has agreed to meet with you all in the morning, if that is an agreeable time for you all tomorrow.
Donovan nods. It's like, he kind of looks to the others. It's like, how early was she thinking?
Oh, I don't know, sometime before noon maybe. 10, 11. Her plan was to keep the morning open for whenever you wished to come by.
He kind of looks to the others, so it's like, he's kind of like letting them kind of chirp in on like what they think would be the best time.
He says, unless you have another time preference, or if
Earlier,
you're
the better.
busy or anything else,
And it's more of a potentially needing to make our way out of town before it gets too late in the day, so that's why we say the earlier the better.
Oh, you're not planning to stay for the festival then?
Kind of looks to the others.
I saw them putting up those flyers, Festival of the Blazing Sun, attendance and children mandatory. I'm not sure what that last part's about, but...
No, snorted. It's like it's anyone's guess at this point.
Indeed. And he kind of leans into Kardama and Donovan. He says, "I also saw a poster for your other friend. I assume she's safe and out of sight. Those that are brought before the burgomaster rarely come out, at least in the same shape they went in."
He sort of nods. It's like, that's sort of what we anticipated, and hence why uh, we may not really be able to stick around for the festival.
Hmm. That's unfortunate. Let me think. Please join me. And he kind of motions, and there are a number, like, the table does have 6 chairs here. Obviously, you guys won't all fit correctly because just of the squares. But yeah, there's enough room for everyone to kind of squeeze around the table. And Tristan will probably just chill over there, being standoffish and broody as he usually does. And Irina, who no one has seemed to notice that kind of snuck in, will probably maybe hang out as well. He says, "So, well, I found the poster. They were putting them up when I was running my errand, and I actually brought one of them to my mistress, and... Well, this is difficult to talk about, but I'll do my best. She and I, as well as a number of other people in the town, believe that perhaps it's time for new leadership to take over, as it were. You all just recently arrived in town. Your friend is already wanted for questioning about what I couldn't say. You guys haven't been in town long enough to have done anything. And I do, well, my mistress does, and I'm the primary one in charge of it, but we do have a small spy operation here in Vallaki, so we generally know what people are up to. And as far as I know, and I know a lot about the comings and goings and dealings in this city, you all have done nothing that should have gotten such a response from the burgomaster or Isaac. Now, if I'm wrong, of course, and you have done something to draw their ire, then, perhaps the wanted posters are justly put up, and this conversation can simply end there.
No, I don't think that we've done anything to even attract their attention. Not that we should.
And he kind of looks at
It's not
you
intentionally.
for a moment, Kardama. Says, yes. Well, I've already talked with some other people about it, but if we want it to be a smooth transition from one leader to another without any infighting or, a potential civil war from erupting, then we need to be rid of a certain person that I don't think you've met yet, but you at least, I'm sure, have seen around town putting up these posters. I refer, of course, to the large man with he kind of just holds up his arm and, kind of makes some clawing gestures.
He nods. It's like, yeah, we saw him around town.
He says, well, as far as I know from sources inside of the burgomaster's estate, it's less the burgomaster's interest in your friend and more the head of guard's interest in your friend, which is even more worrisome in truth.
And that's the large man that we've seen about town.
Correct. Now, I don't know Vargas that well, but I do know that if deprived of his, I don't even know what to refer to Isaac as specifically, but if deprived of his main source of, I guess, enforcement of his laws, then I suspect he would be willing to, or at least more willing to, turn over leadership to someone else. And we can stop all of this nonsense about festivals and, get back to the important things.
Cardama nods and takes out one of her knives and starts playing with it. So you need someone taken care of.
Correct. And he is quite formidable, and while I don't doubt your own combat prowess, I do think we have an easier way to deal with him when he inevitably shows up here to find your friend. And he will reach into his coat and he pulls out a small vial of some sort of mostly translucent, kind of clear liquid, and puts it on the table and kind of pushes it towards you, Cardama.
Cardama reaches forward and grabs it.
He says, in truth, a couple drops of that should be enough to put out a full-grown man easily, but our friend maybe just use the whole vial.
He kind of grins at that. And I'm guessing he's going to be here tonight for a meal?
Oh, I really couldn't say, but I don't think it'll be too long before he's informed that she was seen here by someone and comes here to start asking questions. He is known to like his drink, so I suspect if we can get... well, I'll be honest with you. I've already spoken with Erwin about the plan. If we were to dump that vial in, say, a bottle of his favorite wine, given as an appeasement gift for, not knowing where your friend went, I think we might be able to deal with the problem neatly. He should knock out, you guys can tie him up, we'll store him somewhere safe, and get the townspeople together to demand that Vargas step down from his position. At which point, new leadership can be established, can put it to a vote. There are a number of prominent families in town, besides the Volakovich family. I'm sure they can figure out who they want to be in charge next. And who knows, perhaps a certain someone will come back down from his castle and appoint a new leader himself.
Cardama nods at this. This is something that I can very much get done.
He says, now, and obviously I wouldn't want to force your companions to do anything they're not comfortable doing, but ideally we can get this done with as little bloodshed as possible.
Cardama nods and looks around the table, kind of gauging her companion's reactions.
Donovan looks less than pleased, but hasn't outright said that he wouldn't go along with it.
Dakota shrugs. Whichever.
What's Luthias doing?
I mean, he was before all this talk of insurrection. He was busy trying to like point the garlic towards Ernst, but after things got a little bit more conspiratorial, he kind of likes the idea. Doesn't see any reason not to go along with it, and it's kind of yeah, I don't know. It's it seems a little sketchy to go against the burgomaster, but on the other hand, I guess out of character, what I'm thinking is if we go against the burgomaster and Strahd is like on the burgomaster's side, like we risk Strahd, fucking with us. So,
Right.
but that being said, I don't think my character really has any idea to believe that. So he'd tend to probably be more along with the group's choices regarding protecting Irina and yeah.
Yeah.
Other character as well. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking was if we take care of the guard, maybe we can get Irina out easier.
True. Yeah. Like Donovan just has the thing with unfair fights, so he's
Mm-hmm.
not exactly on happy with this, but he's also does not have any better better options, and he did ask earlier for better options, so he's like, you know if this is what it takes to make things work, then that's what'll need to happen.
Are you an expert in the fear of unfair fights?
No, he has a he's a uh, veteran in the fear of assassins.
That makes things even funnier.
This sounds familiar.
Dang, you couldn't have planned this better if you tried. And I didn't plan any of it. It just happened that way.
So, but
That's all that
like,
matters.
yeah, but yeah. So he's, like I said, not the happiest with this course of action, but like, it's not like they're going to well, I mean, they could be doing this. And it sounds like they're going to be more just slipping him a poison in some fashion or another.
It's sounding
Whereas,
more like a sleeping drought, honestly. It doesn't sound like it's
yeah,
going to kill him.
right. But just yeah, it's like using this as an advantage to get the burgomaster to step down is, which could potentially lead to a fight, is something he's fine with, but he's just not happy with the methods, but it's not gotten to a point where he's like, this is very completely like just sneaking up on someone and assassinating them, and so it hasn't pushed him to the point where he's like, no, I'm not doing this yet.
Makes sense.
Alright, so it sounds like you guys are in agreement. This is wonderful, wonderful. As I said, I can't say when he'll show up. Only that I suppose it's a matter of time. I would guess tonight, tomorrow night at the latest. But he will eventually show up looking for her. And I assume he'll be less than pleased to not find her here. But he does have a weakness for the drink, and I think we can definitely use that to take him out of the fight.
He
Oh.
nods.
Also, Erwin has agreed to hide your friend here in the meantime, and he points back over his shoulder where Irina is sitting. Still mostly shadowy.
I wonder what
Dama nods her thanks and looks over at Irina, kind of surprised that he was able to take note of her.
He says, well, let's hope that he shows up later and not earlier. As I said, my mistress would like to meet you all in the morning. I'll do what I can, of course, to maybe spread some false rumors about town of places she might be, lead them on a bit of a goose chase for the time being, and until the plan can be finalized, and just make sure we're all on the same page.
Indeed.
Until the morning, when we meet fair Fiona. Fair Fiona Wallach.
Walked her, but close.
Walked her. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was an epic speech, though.
Yeah, very, very inspiring.
He says, all right then,
Yes,
I will, I'll do my part. Give Erwin the vial when you can. I've already purchased the bottle for it to be put in. I'll see about keeping him away from here for tonight at least, and hopefully we can bring all this to a close tomorrow night.
That sounds like a plan.
Yep.
And I'll kind of give you guys one final nod before he will head out. Back out into the rainy Valachian afternoon. And it'll probably only be maybe another 10 or so minutes till eventually Irina will kind of pop back out. Who was mostly just kind of being quiet in the chair, sitting there listening. She'll probably look between you all and say, so, is that what we're doing? It won't kill him, right? It's just going to...
So Cardona still has the vial, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So Cardona's just going to take a look at it. She's like, what he was saying, it sounds like it's just going to put him to sleep.
Alright, and you can give me a
I was going to say, can you just, like,
survival,
open it and
nature,
smell it?
or underworld, which I know you do have underworld, or even crafting.
Yeah, I think I have.
Like any of those would be suitable, especially given your particular background.
Right.
I'll give you a slight circumstance bonus since that's kind of in your character's wheelhouse.
You said which one? That was the other one?
Nature, medicine,
Maybe
survival, underworld, crafting.
Go with Underworld, maybe?
Underworld would work perfectly fine.
Public role or private?
You can do private. I mean, I know you have a pretty decent plus there, plus your bonus I'm going to give you. So it doesn't smell exactly the same, and the consistency is it's probably 99% like maybe even something you've used before. It is an ingested poison, which makes sense given he said to put it in the wine. And yeah, it sort of puts you into a kind of low grade, well, not even low grade, but just kind of puts you into a catatonic state for a time, usually several hours. And much like he said, not really giving you any reason to doubt as it kind of lines up with your own thoughts. Usually you would only need maybe a drop or two, maybe 2 drops for maybe a slightly larger man to like a single drop for like your average woman to kind of get the full effect. And there's definitely a fair bit more in this vial than a couple drops. So
So Cardona looks up at them. She's like, "It smells like something I've used before. It'll just put him into a catonic state for a few hours, and he'll probably waking up feeling like he had the worst hangover of his life. But other than that, he should be fine. The only thing is, normally I would only use a few drops. He's saying to use the whole thing.
Well, what do we want to do?
I think I should take his advice. I don't know if it's exactly the same things I would have back home. The potency of whatever's used to make it could be lesser here. And Cordova kind of looks around at Tristan, Irina.
yeah, Arena kind of looks thoughtful. Tristan does as well. But will eventually kind of add in that he's never met the man himself, but Vargas gives him free reign to terrorize and kind of do whatever he wants in the village in the name of keeping the peace and order. So he doesn't really think that, his removal will be a bad thing. And he might also kind of in a more, like, kind of huffy tone mention that it was actually Vargas who in the last few years basically forbid most Vistani from even getting into the city to begin with.
I think the best route would be to go along with the plan. It'll hopefully give us a chance to get Irina out and maybe hopefully bring in some order to the town again. Give it back to the hands of the people.
And Tristan would probably add, with Vargas removed peacefully, Irina wouldn't need to leave the town anymore.
This is true.
Where is it, baby?
And then he'll probably
very
just
true.
shrug, go back to brooding, and say, but ultimately, it's up to you.
Cardoma looks at her companions before tucking away the potion, the tonic or the vial into a patch on the base, and looks at Donovan because she can. What do we do now? We just wait for his arrival?
Well, unless we fancy going out to look for him ourselves, I would say, he kind of looks at the vials, like, I would say waiting for him and finding something to slip that into are probably our best options. So he kind of looks over to the bar. It's like, kind of looks to the bar is like presumably something fancy.
Yeah. Kardama just watches Nyx arrive and then leave again. I'm just like, okay.
I mean, Tristan said something in some weird language, and she just nodded and left.
Right.
And Erwin will bring over a bottle of wine. This one is actually one you haven't seen before. I kind of hate the default name of it. The Champagne de la Stomp. I don't really think that's a great name for fancy wine, but that is the name of it. And until we come up with a cooler name, that is the bottle he is going to bring you. Kind of sets it on the table. He says he won't be able to say no to this one. It's the last bottle in town outside of perhaps private collectors' hands. Just do what you have to do to the bottle. The less I know, the better, and just leave it on the bar before you go.
Kardama nods and takes the bottle.
Champagne de la Stomp.
De la Stomp, yes. Oh, still speaking in languages. Hold on. We're speaking in tongues here.
It's important that we get the exact spelling.
Yes.
I may have misspelled the champagne part. It doesn't look right to me.
It's good.
Kardama has the wine and the poison, and she just just leaves the wine on the table. She's like, "I'll do what I need to do with this later. Best not to be done in an open area like this."
And eventually Danica will kind of come around to Irina. And she says, come on, I'll show you to the hidden room we have upstairs. And they will disappear up these stairs. Leaving you all with this gentleman here and these two guys who, this guy's telling them another story, the bard guy, and they're just kind of listening and laughing and having a good time. What do you do?
Barty, Beardy 1, and Beardy 2.
Heck yeah.
Other character like, what time of day is it at this point?
A little bit past noon, maybe.
Jeez, early in the day.
Yeah, shit's going down. I mean, that's the way some of the random dice rolls for this game goes. Like, Donovan's played through this part before, but it happened differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the dice roll for that one was different, so stuff happened in different orders.
Kardama would probably suggest that she excuse herself to go up to the room where she's going to use like a syringe or sorts to stealthily add the poison to the bottle of wine through the quart.
Alright. So, we are at our normal game in time, and it wants to go to ads in 2 minutes anyway. So
Okay.
we are just going to wrap it up here for tonight.
And Raid Razzle?
And do what we usually do, raid razzle, yeah. Especially,
Raid razzle.
it even auto snoozed me. It used my third.
I snoozed
Perfect.
it.
I was wondering why they were getting used. I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah, I was like,
Twitch,
I knew
here
we
I
were
was
kinda getting
thinking
towards
you
the
did
end,
something
yeah.
and you didn't do it. But yeah, we'll
Ugh.
throw the raid to Razzle. I'll throw. Actually, you can keep just using the same RP channel on Discord for just any chatting you want to do. Until we pick up next time, just it'll be kind of the afternoon, early evening.
Yeah.
So let's search here.
Want me to put in the raid?
Sure. Yeah, he's on.
Did it let me? I don't think it let me, so you might have to use it.
Yep, I got it open. We'll do that. Send it
Got it.
to them.
Mess this one up, please.
Rise of the Rune Lording.
That garlic costs 1 gold.
I
Right.
mean, she robbed you guys a little bit. What do you expect people are gonna do living in a land where people are like, oh, I need silver and garlic, bro?
Right.
I'm upcharging. It's like
Right.
it's like eggs right now.
All right, everybody. I'm out next week going on a road trip to California, but I'll be back in 2 weeks, so I'll see you then.
Roll intimidation, Rakim.
See you then. Have a good rest of your night.
What's up, Malik?
Have a
Thank
good
you
night.
for
Yep.
the
Good night.
All right,
Thanks,
have a good
Gil.
night, guys. Yep.
How's your
Talk to you later. Bye.
Roll out, guys.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.
you guys game going?
Bye.